Yeah. From the sandlots to the spotlight. From the Negro leagues to the big leagues. This ain't just baseball. This history. This culture. This is stolen bases. Yeah.
Hey, what's good, family? Welcome to Stolen Bases. This is where the stories just are rich and the history runs deep and the culture always has a seat at the table. We're here to celebrate the past, challenge the present, and of course, inspire the future of Black baseball. So whether you are a longtime fan of this game that we love or you're just discovering the game for the first time, grab your glove, pull up a chair, because around here, we're still in more than bases. We're reclaiming history. Let's get it. Hey, I'm just one half of this Stolen Bases team. I go by Coach Tre Everett. So glad to be with all of you today. Thank you for so much for joining us. But I am not alone. I'm here with my homeboy, my brother, my classmate, class of '92, Vallejo High School. Please stand up, Johnnie King III. Tell the people what's good.
What's good? What's up, people? Welcome to episode 7 of the Stolen Bases podcast. Let's go. Let's roll.
Let's go. And man, before we get started, I just want to give you your props because, hey, if y'all don't know, this man is probably one of the hardest working people in the podcast business because he has his own podcast. We do this one together, and man, he is cranking out all the content that you see on social media. He's cranking out those clips, man. So I just want to let the audience know how much I appreciate you, bro, for the hard work that you put into making sure that this podcast is not just something that's just half-assed. This is on another level. This is high quality stuff that we're doing, and you're a big reason why it's like that. So salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Man, much love, Coach Tre. I appreciate you, man. You know, we go back like 4 flats. So, I had to do it right from the first time to the last. We're going to keep it rolling, bro.
That's it, man. We're going to keep this thing rolling. It's only going to get bigger, better. The content is just going to get more and more inviting and engaging with the audience, man. So I'm just excited and I'm glad to be on this journey with you, man. So let's do a little warm up. Let's, how back in the day before the game, you used to warm up, play catch or something like that. So before we even get started with this episode, we want to warm up a little bit and just talk about some things that are happening right now in the game of baseball. So as we are recording this, I know it'll probably be about a week later before the audience sees this, but what's going on right now in the world of baseball just this week, we had a couple things that happened in the world of baseball that caught our eye. I was like, man, there was so much of that I wanted to send you this past week. I was like, man, did you see this? Man, did you see that? It was a lot going on, man.
I know, it was.
But one in particular, man, and well, let me pause because I guess they all see we represent the Bay Area today. My man, he's rocking his Giants gear. Yes, sir, the San Francisco Giants. I'm going across the bay because I still call them the Oakland A's. So I'm representing the Oakland. They forever Oakland A's. I will never say Vegas or Sacramento, even though
I still call them Oakland Raiders, and they've been in Vegas for years.
That part, me too, man. Me too. And so even though I'm living here in Sacramento, hey, they still the Oakland A's to me. But we represent the home teams today. And speaking of my home team, the Oakland A's, man, we got a dope young rookie by the name of Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, a young brother. So I've been watching him as he came up, got his first major league hit against the LA Dodgers when they were in town. So it's kind of dope to see Freddie Freeman, once he reached first base, Freddie Freeman, kind of gave him some props and some love. So that was real dope to see.
Dope.
But and he's been doing great. Been the starting third baseman for the past month or so, and putting up pretty good numbers, man. But a couple nights ago, our brother, hey, he went through some things.
I'm sorry, bro. Feel bad for you, bro.
I know. He went through some things. So he it's painful to talk about as a man.
Oh man, that's why I can't. You can't do nothing but just laugh because otherwise it's just straight pain.
Yeah, man. But for those of y'all who have not seen it, so Joshua Kuroda-Grauer was up to bat recently, and as the pitch was coming, he foul tipped it. normally a foul tip, it goes straight to the ground. May hit off your foot. That's why you see a lot of guys wearing the foot or the shin guards nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But this didn't hit his foot, man. This hit that groin area. This hit that groin area. Not only did it hit the groin area, and of course he went straight to the ground, but my man is now on the 10-day disabled list for a ruptured testicle.
I mean, it just sounds funny. I mean,
it's rough.
I mean, when I first saw the clip, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at first, mainly because of the commentary that the announcer was saying, and they wasn't laughing. It was just right on time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do nothing but laugh. The comedic timing, even though they wasn't trying to be comedic, it just made me laugh. But when I saw how he went down, and then I saw what was actually on the screen, because you sent me the clip that actually said what had happened to him.
Right.
the ruptured testicle. I couldn't do nothing but laugh, man. And 10 days.
Hey, that's rough. That means it's all bad. I didn't even know testicles could rupture.
I ain't gonna even go there. I can say some stuff right now, but I ain't gonna go there. Pause.
Man, I've already went there. Time and time again in my mind, I've already went there.
Man, testicles can bust, but rupture?
It's a new term for busting a nut.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, facts. Oh, my goodness. You said it. You said everything, man. Hey, look. He gonna be on the list. He gonna be on that disabled list for more than 10 days, bro.
Hey, man,
he gonna be on there for more than 10 days.
Keep the ice
AIDS
coming.
fans, if you see it get extended to another 10 days and then another 10 days, you just have to understand.
I don't care if he's out for the rest of the season. I understand, my young brother. Man, I know we cracking jokes, but Josh, man, we hope you heal up soon. That's in all serious, but. As men, we've experienced it. We've experienced it. We've been, hitting the groin area.
Bro, just a graze.
Just a graze is enough. Just enough to
graze.
Put you in shock. You like, oh,
you know what I'm saying? Bro, just a graze. And you could do it yourself accidentally, be like, oh my God, what happened?
Right. Yes. So
you know what I'm saying?
Heal up, young bro. But that also brings up the point that, cats don't wear cups no more,
bro.
Like it was.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, he don't have a cup on.
He ain't got a cup on, and I know for a fact that besides the catcher, these cats ain't out here wearing cups. That was a requirement for us coming up. You had to wear a cup. I don't care if you were playing left field. You wearing a cup, and so a lot of these cats they don't wear cups anymore, and lo and behold, we see what that got you. I bet you wear a cup when you come back.
I bet you a whole lot of half his teammates that wasn't wearing them gonna start wearing them, and half the league, half Major League after seeing that be like, I ain't trying to be ruptured.
Between innings, they went back to the locker room. Give me a cup, man.
Facts. Hey, give me that cup, man. And the teams, every Major League team probably gonna order a case of them.
Oh yeah.
Just to make sure all their players
cup stock just
mandatory
went up
this week. Now it's mandatory. Everybody got to wear. We can't afford y'all on the disabled list. Everybody got to wear one. They got cup checks before they go out on the field.
Let me find out who make cups, who manufacture cups, because I know their stock went up this week. I'm about to invest
Bike
in
still
cups.
Make cups, man. Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
oh,
sir.
The bike cups, yeah.
The bike cups, yeah, bro.
man, it's funny, but also, man, it's no joke at the same time that I know the young brother is hurting, man, and. Yeah, again, heal up, Josh, and get back out there, man, because you was doing great and having a great rookie season. Can't wait to see you get back out there. And, of course, here on Stolen Bases, we always going to champion and cheer for our young brothers who are in the league right now. So shout out to Josh Kuroda-Grauer as he gets on the men, and hopefully he'll be back on the field soon. But That wasn't the
Man,
only
hold
thing
on,
that
hold on,
happened
hold
this
on.
week. Yeah.
Hold on. But speaking of, him getting back on the field, we can't afford to have. We already got minimal black brothers on the field, so we need you back on the
We
field
need you.
ASAP. We
Come
need
on,
you to
man.
heal up ASAP, bro.
ASAP, man. That's right. Because we don't want your spot given away to somebody else. We need you back
No,
on the
bro.
diamond, bro.
Fact.
And if you happen to see this, hey, you got a welcome seat right here at the table on the Stolen Bases podcast. We'd love to chop it up with you. Just talk about your story, how you came up, your rise to the big leagues. And so we want to definitely celebrate you as well.
Absolutely. You
But
got some
yeah,
time
man,
now.
we
could
do got
probably
you got
talk
some
to him.
time. So give us a call from the hospital, man.
Yes, sir, man. Come on, man. We want to celebrate you, man. Not laugh at you. We do want to celebrate you for real.
Facts. But man, that wasn't the only thing that happened. So just keeping it going, man. I think this may have been the same day. Benches cleared this week in the game. Benches cleared this week during the Nationals versus Rockies game after Nationals hitter Andres Chaparro. Hope I'm saying his name right. Andres Chaparro. He flew out to right, and while trotting back to the dugout, his foot touched the edge of the mound, bro. And because his foot touched the edge of the mound, the edge, not the rubber, he just touched the back edge of the dirt of the mound.
Instead of running across the grass, he ran kind of close to the pitcher's mound.
Close to the pitcher's mound, right. And so because of that, the Rockies pitcher, Kyle Freeland, he didn't like it. And so he yelled at Chaparro, "Stay off my effing mound." And of course, that caused, Chaparro to stop in his tracks. And again, here we go again. White pitcher, Afro-Latino batter, you talking to me? So we back at that. And so, of course, this caused benches to clear. It wasn't really a fight, but, the benches did clear. No one got ejected. But the fact that, Kyle Freeland got so upset because he touched, man, I should have sent you the clip, but he literally, the edge of his foot touched the edge of the dirt of the mound.
Most of his foot was on the grass.
Most of his foot was on the grass. And
That's
because
crazy.
that edge of his foot touched the dirt of the mound, that just pissed off, Kyle Freeland and just put him over the edge. I don't know what's going on with these pitchers right now, and they short tempers or whatever you want to have it, or just not just having this softness about them, and anything that happens all of a sudden it's an issue. So we see this again, man, with these pitchers, man, and just going off on batters, and we're about to talk about it. Excuse me, another pitcher going off on the umpire, man. So I don't know what to say about these pitchers right now, man.
Man, I didn't see that. I really didn't see that. I think I saw some, clips of like the benches clearing, but I had no idea how it happened. I didn't know that he ran off touched the back of the mound, flew out to right field. But I could see you fly out to right field, you rounded first base, he catches it by the time you get halfway through, and you just cutting back across the field just to go back to your dugout. I don't know what's up with these pitchers, man. Because think about if there's a lot of Dominican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Hispanic pitchers. Now, what if they start talking back to a white player like that? Right. Stay off my freaking mound. Not only are the benches gonna clear, but it's probably gonna be a brawl.
Right.
And it's just unfortunate that these pitchers feel like they own the field when you just one of the guys on the field. Yeah, you got the pill. Yeah, you the ace, or whatever. You're the guy, with the ball in your hand every time. But own the field, bro. You just a player on it. You're
just a player on it. And I know they have this, this unwritten rule about not crossing over the mound. Like if you get out, you run on the grass, you don't cross over the mound. But just to barely touch, barely brush the mound. I mean, come on, man. It's just too much. And you're just showing, how sensitive you are. And if he had crossed over the mound and had his cleats hit the rubber, okay, that's disrespectful. But man, come on, he's touching a part of the mound that as a pitcher you would never touch anyway. So some of these unwritten rules in baseball, I'm just over it. Even as a former player, even the bench clearing. If I were in the league right now, and I actually did this as a player in college, everybody else clearing the bench because the pitcher and the batter getting into it. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't about that smoke. So I'm gonna just sit my behind right here in this dugout and let y'all just stand out there. Because that's all they doing is just standing out there, man. So,
and after the bench is clear, to be honest with you, it's probably way more footprints on that mound because of the bench is cleared. You know what I'm saying? Half the team walking across the mound after the bench cleared.
Yeah.
Now what you complaining about, bruh?
Right. Now everybody done trampled over the mound. So, man, come on. Stop it. Stop it with all crazy. That, man. But the crazy thing is I think he was more what really sent him over the edge was the fact that the previous at bat, Chaparro hit a bomb off of him. Hit a bomb into the left field seats.
That's it.
So that's one thing.
That's what it was.
No, that's what it was.
He was mad. He got hit out.
Yep.
So now when they hit him out, they just need to do some extra celebrating. Just
exactly.
Throw the bat, do a couple flips along the base paths.
All that poppy collar like Ricky did.
Poppy collar, pump up the crowd while you going through third base. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All that, man. And then Freeland, the pitcher, he ended up. I got his final stats here for that game. He gave up 4 runs and 7 hits over 6 innings, dropping his record to 2-9 for the season.
Bruh, you doing all of that? You 2-9?
2-9.
Bro, that must be superstition. Like, you 2-9 and you complaining about somebody walking across your man. You need to be thinking about this next strike.
Right.
You need to think about getting this next batter out. You focus on the dude who already out. What's wrong with you, man?
Exactly. You 2-9, man. Your season sucks. That's what it boils down to. It had nothing to do with Chaparro. Your season sucked, and you just took it out on somebody just barely touching the mound.
Bruh, if I was his teammates, I wouldn't even came out the dugout.
Exactly.
2-9. Help him. You tripping.
Get it 500 before I come out.
For real, bro. You tripping, man. You finna get me suspended over you 2-9.
You better get over yourself.
For real,
oh,
bro.
Man. Yeah, so these pitches are tripping, man.
I love this so much, man.
I love it too, man. These pitches are tripping. And we going to continue this talk about pitches. Man, we might have to do a segment. These pitches tripping.
These pitches is tripping, bro. Oh, man. Pitches are...
Not the B word.
For real.
These pitches are tripping.
These just tripping.
That may be a new segment on the Solar Bases podcast, for real.
These pitches are tripping. Yeah, for real.
They are tripping.
Every time we see it, that's a segment.
Every time.
These pitches are tripping.
Yep. Every time. And speaking
we
of
already got 2 on them. We got Cavalli and what's the dude name?
And this Kyle Freeland.
Cavalli and Kyle Freeland. The list is growing.
And we about to add one more. I didn't get his. Oh man, I didn't add his name, but we gonna definitely add that to the clip. We gonna find it. But this is a picture on the Cincinnati Reds. Pitcher on the Cincinnati Reds this week. Threw a pitch, and the batter hit a ground ball up the middle. It was like a comebacker, but the pitcher didn't field it, so it was kind of in that gap, rolling over second base towards center field. The shortstop, the second baseman, was about to make a play on it, but the umpire was in the way. The umpire was trying to get out the way, but didn't move fast enough to get out the way. So of course, the fielder ran into the umpire. The ball rolled out into the outfield for a single. So this pitcher on the Cincinnati Reds decided that he gonna take it out on the umpire and tell the umpire. Well, first he called the umpire a fat ass, and then told the umpire, "Next time, get out the way, you fat MFer."
What?
These pitches are tripping.
Come on, man. These these pitchers tripping, man, for real. He called him a fat. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy,
and
man.
didn't get ejected. Did not
That's
get
what I'm
ejected.
saying. That's disrespectful. Like if you talk to an NBA official like that, you out of the game.
Right.
You know, I'm
should.
sure the NFL officials hear everything. They get called
Mm-hmm.
everything under the sun, and it got to be aggressive for them to kick somebody out.
Right.
But NBA, you say that to an NBA official, you gone right away. They ain't not playing.
Oh yeah, and just to go that low, man, to do something like that, man, to call. I mean, yes, you want to argue with the umpires over balls and strikes or outs or whatever. Yeah, okay, do that. But to call somebody out their name like that, man, that's just goes way too far. And you don't have enough self control over yourself on the mound to say, you could have said next time, get out the way, Blue. Okay.
Yeah. You ain't got to call him, talk about his body shame him, and then call him an MFer, and he still just let you stay in the game. I'd have kicked him out. You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Yeah, he should have got ejected.
You yanked
for sure. Even though after the game, or I think it was like the next day, during a press conference, he said that he was sorry, let his emotions get the best of him, and planned on reaching out to the umpire. You still said what you said, and the fact that even after you said it, you thought that exactly.
You was on the mound pitching, thinking that's a fat ass umpire back there.
Yep.
And that's why it came out your mouth when you got mad.
That's why it came out. Yep. Because you didn't just say it once. You came back and said it again. So it wasn't that, okay, the emotions got the best of you. Oops, that slipped out. No, because you came back seconds later and said it again.
Yeah, you've been thinking that, man. That's horrible. There should be some disciplinary action for that. The league should discipline them because they should be protecting their umpires.
Right.
I know they hear some things, but when it's direct like that,
right,
and blatant like that,
exactly.
something should happen, man. That's crazy. And I don't know. Sometimes I be trying not to go there. This is called Stolen Bases, and it's called Stolen Bases for a purpose because we talk about bringing back black baseball, and sometimes that brings up some issues of color, skin color, and race. Because I mean that's just the nature of what we're dealing with, and I don't know if it's either not enough minority pitchers or these other pitchers is just tripping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, that's a segment.
These pitchers is tripping, bro. Golly.
Man. So these pitchers are tripping, but we do got some good news to share about it. Pitcher, we gonna stay talk about the Cincinnati Reds because the Cincinnati Reds recently signed their emerging ace, goes by the name of Chase Burns, young brother. They recently signed him to a 7-year, $105 million contract extension, tied for the biggest contract for a pitcher in team history.
Wow, 7-year, 100 and how much?
105 million. Our young brother got the bag, man.
Yes. Shout out to Chase Burns.
Indeed.
I'm about to be watching Chase Burns. I'm a new fan, and I'm not a fan of the Reds, and I ain't even seen Chase Burns. I didn't even know who he was until you mentioned him. But I'm about to start paying attention.
Hey, you're gonna want to check him out, man. This young brother, he's likely to win a Cy Young or maybe two in his career. I got his current stats. He's a right-handed pitcher right now. He currently has an 11-1 record. So he's on pace for a 20-win season. We don't see a lot of 20-win seasons in the major leagues anymore. He's on pace for that. 11-1, bro, with a 2.54 ERA.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah. That's like Dave Stewart, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Dave Stewart's number used to look like at this point in the season.
Yeah, so he's 11-1 across 18 starts. So he only had 6 starts where he didn't get a decision. He has 108 strikeouts in a total of 102 innings so far, and he earned his first All-Star selection this season as well. Man,
that's dope. That's dope. What he where did he come out of a farm system, or was he traded to them, or was
He
he
came out there farm system. He was drafted. I didn't put it in the notes, but I believe he was drafted in 2024. Either first or second round.
okay? Okay, man. Chase Burns, man, congratulations on the bag. I'm looking forward to watching you on the mound and representing, for years to come. If they
Yes,
gave you
sir.
a 7-year deal like that, they expect you to be around and be dominant for some years. So y'all better act like y'all know Chase Burns, and don't, 3 or 4 years from now, you'll be like, what? I didn't know he was great. Yeah, he
Exactly.
already great.
Yeah, so that's definitely somebody we got to keep our eye on, man. And I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on him for the rest of the season. And the Reds actually have two black starters. So they have Chase Burns, and they have another one by the name of Hunter Green. Bro is
Okay,
six
starting
six
pitcher.
foot five, starting pitcher, 6'5", about 240 pounds. So big pitcher, a
Yeah.
big pitcher. He just came off the 60-day disabled list, so he spent the first portion of the season mostly on the disabled list. But I'm looking forward to big things for him. Currently, after coming off the disabled list, he has a 2-1 record so far. But they're expecting big things out of him. So that 1-2 combination with Chase Burns and Hunter
Yeah.
Green, man, I can't remember the last time that we had two black starters on one
On
team.
one team. Not
Hey, we may have to research that to see if that was ever a thing,
when
ever
that
happened.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when if and when that was. I can't remember. Definitely not off. That would be something that right off the top we would probably be like, yeah, that was this team. They did that.
Mm-hmm.
But we know a lot of black pitchers, but how many teams had two of them on their squad
Yeah,
at one time?
yeah. I'm
Maybe
gonna have to
maybe a black
research that.
starter and a black closer. Every team that Lee Smith was on
Right,
might have had a black starting pitcher because he was a closer. But
right.
outside of that, I don't know.
Yeah, I got to look into that one, man, because for the Reds to do that now, it's going to have me, kind of tuning into the Reds just for that. I just want to see, the greatness of these
Yeah.
two young pitchers, and hopefully, hopefully they don't beat our Giants, but but I would like to see.
They
Go
bringing
ahead.
back that big red machine.
Hey, it sounds like
The
it, man.
big
They
red
starting with
machine.
pitching because what do we say? Pitching wins championships, and if
Pitching
we got
wins,
two
yeah.
brothers who are willing and dealing like this, for the Reds, hey, they might be on
Hey,
their way.
them pitchers tripping. These pitchers is whipping.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. I love that.
Yeah, man.
I love that. Well, man, that's our warm up, man. So let's go ahead and get this game started. I just want
Oh
to
man,
lead
got
off a
me in
little bit.
tears, bro.
I know.
Gotta wipe my eyes a little bit.
Man, but I just want to talk about, and this is more, non-baseball related, but it still, kind of goes along with baseball. Just, of course, here in the United States, the World Cup tournament has been here for about the past month, and it just wrapped up with Spain defeating Argentina in the World Cup. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I realized through watching the World Cup, because I admit I'm not a big soccer fan,
Mm-hmm.
but something about the World Cup, the past few World Cups, whether it's the men or the women, I've just been kind of tuned in because it's like their Super Bowl. This is the highest tournament that there is in soccer. So it's like their Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals combined into one, and you got the world's best on soccer's biggest stage. And so,
Mm-hmm.
it just the World Cup, sports in general, it just has an incredible ability to just bring people together. But in some cases, it can also expose the ugliness that's in humanity. And
Mm-hmm.
so, some of the things that I saw during the World Cup, surrounding international soccer and the fans, and even the governments of some of these countries, and we saw countries like Argentina. We saw the worst of them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of friends and family in Atlanta, and Argentina had a few games in Atlanta, or should I say matches,
Mm-hmm.
in Atlanta during the World Cup, and the way they treated the people in Atlanta. Like I've got friends who posted, who work in restaurants or work in hotels, and said how racist these Argentina fans were, and how it also displayed, during the game, how they were calling black players on certain teams monkeys and gorillas. You had fans, making gorilla sounds and stuff like that during the game, man. And it just, which should have been a beautiful moment that showed that, you know, with all the ugliness going on in the world, there's still some humanity. There's still some decent people. Sports, and we see this with the Olympics in particular, how it brings people together, and you see good sportsmanship. But we didn't see that a lot with this Argentine team and their fans, and and just the people of Argentina in general, because since that time there has been a lot of talk about the history of Argentina's government attempt to erase black culture from Argentina, which was once black people used to be a third of the population in Argentina. Now they are less than 5%. And so, and this was all intentional, man. And so, man, I just wanted to ask you, man, why does racism? We're in the year 2026. Why does racism continue to appear in sports when sports should be bringing us together, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. I knew some of those things about Argentina, and I would say that even though I don't typically cheer for teams to lose unless they're playing against my team, I'm glad Argentina lost.
Me too.
After all of this, and they had the young brother Speed was on the sidelines and at the game, and they was heckling him real bad, and he wasn't saying nothing to him. They were just ain't no telling what they said to him and what they called him right there. And it's I don't know, I don't understand it, because like we talked about in the previous episode, half the team or more is another nationality. Maybe not on Argentina, but in every other country, on every other team, no matter whether it's Japan, whether it's England, even it's a European country, they're gonna have 3 or 4 brothers on the team.
Yeah. Spain had a brother named Williams on the team.
For real, straight up. And one of their best players. He one of their best players. And it's sad, because the only thing that I could attribute it to is whatever their political environment is in the place that they come from, they carry it with them. And Argentina, is very sad, but I can see, based on what you mentioned, that the country was a third black, and intentionally they wiped it away to down to 5%.
Right.
I could see why those Argentina fans are the way they are, because that's what their intention is, to erase black culture, disrespect black culture, and every chance they get, especially if they've played against an African, a soccer team from an African nation and lost to them. Ain't no telling what they saying. We lost to a bunch of whatever.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And it's probably almost a war outside the stadium between fans of both sides because of it. I don't know, man. I think that the world is just a sick place when it comes to racism. It's very, very sick, and it needs some healing. And it's perpetuated by governments and systems who insist on holding somebody back for their own dominance, to me. And I think it just trickles down from there. And some people, like you said, racism is not, people aren't born racist. They're taught to be racist.
That's it.
I've never seen a baby or a young kid shun another young kid because of nothing they look like. If they look like the same age and you look like fun, we finna play. We might not even be able to talk, and you darker than me, I'm lighter than you. It don't even matter,
That's it.
But racism is taught, man, and then it's held together by these systems and these constructs. And I'm glad that the world came to the United States at this time during this presidency, and showed his ass, just like this government is doing.
Yeah.
Because it's letting the United States population know that this don't just happen here.
Right.
This happen everywhere.
It's
And
everywhere, man.
you know, I'm gonna put it down and let you talk on it because I could keep going. Sometimes fans, I mean not fans, but you know, audience, y'all watching, man, squad. I thank y'all for watching us. I thank y'all for paying attention to us. Sometimes these conversations gonna veer off into the racial realm because that's the nature of what we dealing with. Somebody's got to address it. We can't sweep it under the rug and act like it didn't happen. You know, y'all all
Absolutely.
know what we're talking about.
Yep. And that's why we're having these conversations, because this podcast wouldn't exist if there was this if there was not this decline in black presence in the world of baseball. And we would be foolish not to think part of that race does play a part of that. Racism does play a part in the lack of black presence in baseball today, because you take baseball out of the inner cities and move it out into the suburbs or the majority white neighborhoods, and you make it so expensive to play that a lot of communities of color can't even afford a bat or a ball nowadays. And so there's a lot of intentionality behind this rapid decline of black presence in baseball. But still, yet and still, we find a way. We still find a way to play this game, and even in soccer, you see some of the same things. I've heard Kevin Frazier, whose son is a high level competitive soccer player. Kevin Frazier, of course, the host of Entertainment Tonight, but he was basically saying how, and even in soccer, they are pricing out a lot of great young soccer players in the hood. It's not that they don't have soccer in the hood. It's just that they aren't getting the same opportunities and exposure as they do out in the suburbs. He said, of course, because he's a millionaire. He's he got some bread. He's not living in the hood, so his son is playing in these suburban leagues. But he realized, you know what, you ain't as good as you think. So he started taking him to the hood soccer leagues, and his son got a dose of reality and basically was like, whoa, I'm not as good as I thought I was, because these cats in the hood, they balling. They playing. They can play way better than me. So it made him a better player. And so I shout out to Kevin Frazier for just bringing that to the light, that it's not just baseball where we're being priced out, but soccer is the same way, and so we're not seeing the same opportunities, and because of that, you see racism in soccer. You see it because they're not used to us being on the field. You're not used to seeing us on these fields, and so now when we're there, all of a sudden now you're feeling uncomfortable. All of a sudden now you're calling us out our names and all these other things. So it's a sad state, man. And when sports should be the most inclusive thing that we have in this world. There are a lot of things that we say, people are welcome. People even say you're welcome at certain churches. I could go real deep in that, but you don't feel welcome. Same thing in sports, man. People say, oh yeah, we take everybody. When the fact is, no, you don't. If you don't meet if you certain income status, you don't meet a certain skin tone, we really don't want you here, and we're going to make you feel that antagonist spirit on us, so that you don't want to come back. So it's a sad state, man, where we are today.
Yeah, man, it is. The only thing I can say about that is, my son, he's taken an affinity for soccer. He's playing football right now. He was basketball for many years. AAU basketball, loved it. He stopped playing basketball so much, and his middle school friends, one of his best middle school friends who was on the basketball team with him, he's a really good soccer player. So my son started taking affinity for it, and they play FIFA on video game and stuff like that. He watched the World Cup. He wanted to try out for soccer. He didn't try out for the school team, but he wanted to try out for a local program here. So we took him out. He tried out. He actually made the team. There was only about I think there was two black kids, him and another black kid that came out. He actually made the squad. But when they sent us how much it cost, he was like, nah, Dad, I'm good. I'm good.
He made that call himself.
Yeah, he was like, we ain't got to do that. I didn't know it was going to cost that much. I was like, man, it's a ball and cleats.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
it ain't baseball, it ain't football. You don't have all these, multiple
Right.
pieces of equipment that you have to
Right.
have in order to play the game. You just show up with cleats on, they're going to give you a uniform. Yeah, you got to pay a little fee for the uniform. But, I mean, they're talking $2,500, $3,000 for one season of soccer. I'm like, bruh, what? Nah,
man, that's crazy.
I'm cool on that. I'd rather him get the experience of playing, and it was kind of considered club soccer or academy level, whatever academy level means. Those of you who are real soccer and football, enthusiasts, you understand what academy level is. So he made that academy team, but that price was way too high. You need to cut it.
That right.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
Man, yeah, cut that. But that's what we're talking about, man. Just how they price us out. And even though, we aren't, living in poverty, and thank God for that. And, we could, provide, for our families. That doesn't mean that we just are willingly able to shell out $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a season, and sometimes you're talking multiple seasons a year. So that it doesn't just price us out, but you're talking about people who are just like us, middle class, and it makes it rough for us. So if it's rough for us, imagine those kids in the hood who aren't middle class, who don't live in the suburbs, and who parents are doing all they can just to make ends meet, but they know that their child has the talent and skill, whether it's in football, baseball, basketball, soccer, doesn't matter, but they just can't afford for them to play the game. We're losing out on so many future greats of the game, the potential greats of the game, because their families just can't afford, or there are just things that are in place, structures in place that keep them off the field. And speaking of that, we're going to talk right now about a structure that was placed. This was back in the 1950s, but a structure that was in place that we likely missed out on seeing maybe some future baseball greats, or seeing what the potential of this team can do. Many people don't know this story, but I think once I heard about the story, I said, "Yo, we got to tell this story to make sure that other people know about it." But for those of you on the Stolen Base Squad, how many of you have heard of the Cannon Street All-Stars? Pretty sure not many of you know the story, but the Cannon Street All-Stars come from Charleston, South Carolina, and in 1955 they were an all-black Little League team. And they earned the right to compete, but because of segregation at the time in South Carolina, they weren't allowed to play against white teams, and so the white leagues refused to play them in these all-star tournaments. Even though Little League Baseball, the corporate headquarters of Little League Baseball, had a rule against segregation, the state law in South Carolina overruled that and said you could still enforce, allow segregation in your little leagues within the state of South Carolina. And so because of this, no teams wanted to play the Cannon Street All-Stars. All these games were forfeit. So all these white teams said it's better for us to forfeit than to play these black boys. And so over time and time again, tournament after tournament, these white teams forfeited. And so that gave the Cannon Street All-Stars an automatic bid to the state tournament. Bro, they arrived at the state tournament, and the state tournament said that you cannot compete and you cannot move on to the next level because each of your wins were by forfeit. Because you didn't play nobody. You have to win by playing the game. They made up this rule saying because they forfeited, you don't qualify to move on to it's crazy.
All them teams was in it from the beginning. They was like, if everybody forfeit, it don't matter what happened. They ain't gonna be able to play when they get to the top level.
So they should have been able to move on to after the teams forfeited at the state tournament level, or if they were allowed to even play at the state tournament. They should have been allowed to move on to go to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and be a part of the Little League World Series. They missed out on that.
That's messed up, man. That's messed up. Like our homeboy Chad Johnson, Uncut Chadwick from Vallejo would say, "What you scared to play us for?"
Exactly.
What you scared for? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that you know, it taking it back to the soccer thing, but not all the way back. But because this is about baseball. But when you when you say it, you isolate people by the pricing out of different talent, and then you go play some of those teams in the exhibition, and you wonder why your teams are getting smoked because all the talent is the people you denying. And they got to work twice as hard to try to make an impression and to be better, and and that's pretty much what happened in South Carolina. It sounds like that team was so good that people were just simply scared to play, so they used racism and the law to block them from playing a team that they was afraid of.
Yes,
Man, that's cowardice. So real talk, if you're supposed to be the best, you're supposed to be good, why won't you play? I mean, that's what happened with the Negro Leagues, I think the same exact thing is they left all the good talent out, because if we let one in, we got to let them all in. And if we let them all in, half of us going to be out of a job.
Exactly. That part. You will never sniff the Little League World Series or even the big leagues ever again, because once you open that door for us, we're going to make the most of it.
For sure.
We're going to definitely make the most
we've
of it.
done it. We've done it in golf. We've done it in tennis. We've done it a little bit in swimming. I can't say we ever did it in cycling, but all the sports that you would think that we would not be able to excel in because of the different dynamics and demographics that's against us.
Yes,
we've shown that we're capable of it, and we're capable of being dominant at it. And what you scared for? Just play. Just play. Roger Clemens. I was watching the Yankees and the Dodgers the other day, and they was interviewing Roger Clemens, and he said he had a T-shirt, and on the front of the shirt it says, "If you mad," and on the back it said, "Play better."
I love it. Yeah, just play better. Hey,
just
get
play better.
Yeah, that's all it is to it. If you take an L, go back into the lab, go to practice, come back stronger next time.
That's it, man.
But to say that you won't play it,
or now at this point, I'm kind of like, no, or bring some of that talent on your team and respect them and love them and embrace them and see yourself have a greater chance to win. But
exactly, make your team better.
Yeah, but I don't, let to each his own on that.
Yeah,
front.
but it's a sad story, man, because these were 11 and 12-year-old kids, and they just wanted to play. They just wanted to play, but you had adults, and like you said, racism is taught. So you had these adults teaching these white players about racism and saying telling them it's better for you to lose than to associate with them black boys. Yes. And so I'm pretty, and that's why South Carolina is likely still the way it is now, because mindsets like that were happening then, and that would just carried over for another generation, and now we're 2 generations beyond that, and it's still happening today. They're still carrying over that same type of toxic and sick mindset over to another generation, and man, it's really sad. But I really want to shout out Little League Baseball and give them their props, because not only back then in 1955 they were saying that we're not going to be a part of any segregation. There's no segregation in Little League Baseball, but last year at the Little League World Series they made it right, and they invited those boys, those that are still living. They invited the Cannon Street All Stars to the Little League World Series, where they were honored before the championship game. So thank you, Little League Baseball.
Yeah, that's cool for Little League baseball to acknowledge that. Very honorable to help to try to right a wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and to make a statement that this was a grave disservice to these young men who are now adults,
Yeah.
and this should never happen again. I guarantee you, some of those young men that were on that team, the white teams, all of those white teams are
Mm-hmm.
probably now in politics, and they learned how to get over by using the law from that experience, and they still doing it. I mean, I'm
That's
just
it.
throwing that out there. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't put no I can't stake no claim on that statement, but y'all know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
If anybody know, I know what you're talking about. But and the thing is, man, racism after integration. So after of course, Jackie Robinson broke the color line. After the Civil Rights Act of 1965, racism didn't end in sports. It didn't end in society. Maybe some of the signs came down. Whites only and colored only signs. Maybe those came down, but the attitudes, they didn't disappear overnight. And so there are still situations happening in sports today that
Hmm.
where racism continues to rear its ugly head. We talk about the racist taunts directed at black athletes in soccer, and that's not only in soccer. We've heard stories about this happening at baseball stadiums across this country. I've experienced that playing baseball myself. We've heard about it happening in football and basketball as well. And as a matter of fact, a brother, Adam Jones, who used to play for the Baltimore Orioles,
Hmm.
he even described racist abuse that he experienced at Fenway Park in Boston, and we know Boston had that history. Boston
Oh yeah,
is has that history, and Boston folks, y'all need to get that right. But
for real.
they carry that history of racism. But he talked about how he was on the end of a lot of racist attacks and abuse when he visited Fenway Park, man. So it's
Mm.
still happening today. You still see the bananas thrown on fields in soccer. I just saw that happen last year over in Europe. For I believe it was Mbappe. He plays for France and one of
Hmm.
the pro teams in Paris. One of the best players in soccer, like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
not
In
the
the
best right
world,
now. In the
in the world.
world, man. But he has experienced racism where, there were bananas thrown on the field. People talked about, his parents, they're not French. They're from Cameroon. And so that makes him a African monkey or all this kind of stuff, man. So it's just like, get over it, man. Like, really.
When you gonna stop? When you gonna learn? Like, humans have been in existence on this planet for centuries.
Yes.
These countries have been in existence for centuries. We
Hmm.
still talking about the color of your skin? How many I
Right.
mean, how many generations of people cycling over and over and over and over and over again are we going to still make this an issue? Like, ain't
Exactly.
nobody going nowhere. Ain't nobody killing nobody off completely, annihilating nobody.
Right.
You're only making the atrocities worse by carrying it forward. Like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
I don't get it, man. And I just keep hearing the song by Sam Cooke in my head. Change gonna come, but man, when,
Mm-hmm.
when, man,
When,
because
bruh?
we're continue to see it, and the double standard is what truly gets me because, we're seeing this today that when a black athlete speaks out about the racism that they experience, when they
Mm-hmm.
speak out about the racism that is going on within the black community or that affects the black community, when they speak out about police brutality, when they speak out about this White House and some of the agendas that they have that are to the detriment of black communities. As soon as they speak out about that, you have these commentators and these political pundits and folks who will tell a black athlete to shut up and play. We remember a
Yeah.
couple years ago when LeBron James spoke out. Laura Ingram told him to shut up and dribble.
Yep.
But at
Yep.
the same time, they will go out of their way, and this is happening right now. You have the Republicans in Congress right now writing a letter to the WNBA saying, "Hey, you got to do better to protect Caitlin Clark from some of these hard fouls that she's getting."
Yeah.
But you don't see all these hard fouls every night against black players?
Right.
Why just
Right.
this one player?
Ridiculous. This is one player. It's crazy, man. Like when you talk about, the people in Boston, I think about Jaylen Brown, who just got traded to the 76ers, Philly. And I recently saw, we got to talk about this too. I recently saw just today, he was over at, I think, Venezuela. He's playing baseball for one of the teams over there, or at least he played in a game, an official game. He had the uniform on, he got a hit and everything. We got to talk about that. But Jaylen Brown is a very outspoken individual, very dark-skinned black man. He went to school at Cal, so he got some, Bay Area in him. And I think he's from Atlanta, so he got some black in him. He all the way black and proud black man, and very educated, very intelligent. And it's going to be interesting to see what type of response that he's going to get from the Boston fans who now want to make him a villain.
Yes.
Now, if they true colors going to come out and them N-words going to start flying, and how the rest of the team, the other black players on the Celtics right now, how they going to deal with that, because they're going to hear it too. I'm black too. Yeah. I'm black just like him too. Yeah.
Will you shut that down? Or because we're wearing opposite jersey now, is it okay? But yeah, man, that's something that I'm gonna definitely be tuned in to see how that plays out, because with a lot of black players that come through Boston, whether it's with the Red Sox, New England Patriots, or the Boston Celtics, they love you as long as you wearing their team colors. Yeah. But as soon as you take off them colors, you just another fill in the blank.
I've never I hate to say it, Boston might be a great place for certain things, but I've never had a desire to go to Boston, Massachusetts, ever. I've never had a desire. The only time I probably would go there is if I had enough money to go and the Warriors played the Celtics in the in the championship. I might go to a game if it meant that much to me. But outside of that, I don't have no desire to go to Boston, mainly because of that. I will not spend a dollar or a penny in Boston because of how they treat black people.
I've had some of the same thoughts. As much as I would like to see, just a storied franchise and a nostalgic stadium like Fenway Park, I know it's no telling what I'm gonna hear in the stands. It's no telling what I'm gonna experience, because I've heard the stories. I know a lot of people who spent time in Boston. There's like, man, you don't want to spend a lot of time there. You don't want no parts of that. So because of that, I'm like, I'm good.
That might be the one park, like we could cross off 29. That might be the one park we don't go to. Or is it 32 teams or 30?
That'd be the one. That'd be the one that'd be like, nah, I'm cool.
I'm cool. It's an exception. I just watched that one on TV.
Yeah, I'll go to see the Texas Rangers before I go see Boston.
Fact. I'll replace that with Rickman Field. We'll just go to Rickman in Alabama.
There you go, bro.
On that trip.
Exactly. Yep. There you go. But
or man, Rickwood. Is it called Rickman or Rickwood?
Rickwood, you're right. Rickwood. Yeah. So, and I do want to see that, because that's just, man, it's such a historic stadium for just black folk. But man,
before we transition, I got to talk about Jaylen Brown, man. Yeah,
I was going to just say, go back to that. He was in Venezuela playing ball.
Yeah. It's Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican. I can't remember, Dominican Republic. One of those countries, and not to disrespect the nationality or the culture at all. I just can't remember which one it was. But he was definitely over there. He was fully uniformed, at bat, helmet on. They threw a pitch. He hit it out. His swing was average, but he hit the ball far. It went into the outfield. He could have had a double, but you could tell this man don't play baseball that much. He might have used to play, but he forgot some of the way because he hit the ball. It should have been a double, but he just running full speed straight down first base like it's a single. And you could tell the first baseman was doing his glove like, bro, you could have went to second.
You could have went to second.
You could have been a double. And you could see the guy in the batter's box. He was a Venezuelan Dominican. He started laughing like he don't know baseball. But man, shout out to Jaylen Brown for going out there and doing that because you very rarely see any other type of athletes playing baseball. You might see baseball players playing basketball. Mm-hmm. You might see football players hooping. You might even see some basketball players trying to hoop, but you rarely see, a basketball player playing baseball. So I thought that was pretty cool. As tall as he is and as big as he is, to be able to go out there and still put it all together in an official game and get a hit and get on base, I thought that was pretty dope.
Man, that is dope because that's so... A lot of black athletes, whether it's football players or basketball players, a lot of them likely started playing sports, playing baseball. Mm-hmm. And then, just because maybe they got, taller, they just gravitated to basketball, or, they just moved over to football or whatever. But a lot of them got their start playing baseball. And I think because they stopped playing, they kind of lost the skill a little bit. But we see a lot of football players, especially quarterbacks, who were pitchers in high school and college. Jameis Winston was a stellar pitcher and outfielder for Florida State University, while he was a Heisman winning quarterback at the same time. Easily could have got, I believe he got drafted, but just chose football, but easily could have had a major league career as either a pitcher or an outfielder. Another black quarterback, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was, I think, a second round draft pick for the Oakland A's. Mm-hmm. And the A's still hold the rights to him if he ever decided to leave football. Wow. He's still like maybe late 20s, early 30s, so he's still like in his prime playing years. But I mean, he's a little guy as a quarterback. Yeah. I was hoping when he just got released from the Arizona Cardinals that he would make that move
going back to baseball.
Just go back to baseball. You ain't got to take them hits. Because he was a great ball player, man, and so there are many other players.
There's a couple more too. Russell Wilson played baseball.
Russell Wilson,
I think he was at Oklahoma. I can't remember what school he went to. Oklahoma, Nebraska, one of them schools.
I think he was at Oklahoma for a little while. Then he went to Wisconsin.
That's what it is. It's Wisconsin. He was a pitcher. John Elway. They say he was a pitcher of baseball.
He was.
Pitcher.
He was.
Well, that's why he threw so hard. But man, that's
Tom Brady. Tom Brady played was a great
ball.
pitcher in high school. Yeah,
man. There's a lot of those guys, especially for pitchers. Especially for pitchers, man. Absolutely. But we know some of the main. We talked about Deion and Bo and Brian Jordan. It's a lot of guys that are dual sport athletes, and baseball is the other sport.
Exactly. Exactly. And I know we're going to do eventually do, a full episode on dual sport players and of course highlight Bo Jackson, Deion and Brian Jordan. But when we think back to high school, there weren't only dual sport athletes. Like we went to school with quadruple sport athletes.
Yes, facts.
4 sport athletes.
A whole bunch of them. Not just one or two at the school that did it. Most high schools, you got one guy, 2 guys, maybe a few in the history of the school that were forced. Man, we went to school at least 3 sports. There was a lot of them that played football, baseball, and basketball, and was starting on all of them. And could have went to the next level in any sport. And actually, it came down to the point where in many of those cases, CC Sabathia is another where you had to pick your sport. Yep.
You had to, which one do you want to play? CC, of course, what was great on the baseball field. Not only was he a great pitcher, but as we know, we see the highlights when he was in the National League and taking at bats. You know, he was hitting dongs, and so he was doing that at Vallejo High School. But not only on the diamond, you know, he was a starting forward on the basketball team that was almost state champions. And
Oh
he
yeah.
had offers for many Division One colleges in basketball. Of course, he was great on the football field. Actually, was going to sign and play at the University of Hawaii for football. So
He
this
played
ain't nothing new.
Nothing new. When CC was in high school, they senior year, I think their last game, it might have been his last game. They were playing against Jason Kidd's team in the state in a NorCal championship to go to the state. Maybe it might have been the state championship. They were playing against St. Joseph's, and
I was there at Arco Arena. I was there.
Yes. CC was balling, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ty Johnson. Ty was on that team too.
Yeah.
Another Vallejo great.
And a former NBA player, Brandon Armstrong, was on that team with CC.
That's right, sure was. And he made it to the league and played for several years, Brandon Armstrong. Played at Pepperdine and then went on to the league. Yep. He played for the Warriors for a minute too.
He played for the Warriors for a minute. Absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
So hey,
man,
hey, we ain't not only a baseball factory in Vallejo.
We got some hoopers too, man. We got some hoopers. Man. We got some baseball. We got some track athletes. You know, swimmers. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on in Vallejo.
We even got
some MMA. We even got some MMA dudes.
We even got the hot dog eating champion of the world. He from Vallejo.
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
NASCAR drivers. Hot dog eaters.
Vallejo, man, bro. y'all been get up on game on Vallejo, California. We cranked out some legends.
Vallejo does everything.
Every major sport, we doing it.
For sure, that's facts. I mean, the only thing I haven't seen yet from Vallejo that's kind of risen is a golfer. Not yet. There probably are some that's on the way, but I haven't seen that yet. But almost in every other sport you could think of, wrestling, boxing, MMA, swimming, you know, baseball, football, basketball, track and field, you name it, Vallejo got some heavy hitters in those areas. Gold medal winners, national champions, World Series champions, Hall of Famers, like that level status.
Yes. That itty bitty city by the bay, is big when it comes to sports, man. And I couldn't be prouder to be from Vallejo, man, and just the greatness that comes out of that city for sure, man.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna transition for a moment. As we're heading into the stretch pretty soon. But you know, when it comes to Black culture, whether we talking about any sport, we would be lying if we didn't say, you know, one thing that we love about playing that sport is getting the uniform. And man, I can remember, I remember signing up for Little League. I'm pretty sure you remember too. Sign up for Little League and you start, you know, of course, you start in preseason practice or whatever, but you couldn't wait for the coach to pull out that box after practice and you finally get them uniforms. Man, it was nothing like that, getting that uniform for the first time. It don't matter what sport. It could have been football, basketball, whatever. But when it was the day where they handed out uniforms, that was a special day. And I don't know about you, bro, but I know for me, I went home that night and I tried on every piece of that uniform.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Man, not only that, if we went to practice Saturday morning, or Saturday morning and they gave us the uniforms on Saturday morning, bruh, all day. Soon as I get home, I'm putting it on. I'm wearing it all day.
I'm wearing it.
We ain't got no game till next week. I'm wearing it all day. Every piece of it, the belt and everything.
I'm even putting on the cup.
Hey, putting the cup on and everything. I'm getting used to this. The stirrups, all of it. I might put my cleats on and run around the yard with them. You know what I'm saying?
There was a many day in elementary school. I would wear my stirrups to school under my pants.
Hey, that's the love of baseball, man.
Hey,
For
for
real.
real, man.
That's the love of baseball.
And
Facts, man.
especially,
You ain't never lied about that uniform thing.
yeah,
All the
man.
way through high school. Even in high school, I was like, man, when they give us these uniforms, I can't wait,
Man.
bro.
Man, even when we first got to Vallejo High, to get that first Vallejo jersey with Vallejo across the front, man,
we had those. We had the gray with the red Vallejo, the red country Vallejo. Then
yes,
we had the white ones with the block.
yes, like the old White Sox uniforms.
Yeah, man, we had the white jerseys and the red and the gray jerseys. I love
Yes,
that, bro.
sir.
I miss
Yes,
them
sir.
days.
I know, bro. Man, the, I love
Man,
it.
we should
I
talk about
love those unis.
playing. When we was playing, I was just thinking back, like trying to, it's a long time ago, but trying to take my brain back to moments where you and I were interactive together on the field. And I remember, I think I remember because you was a pitcher. You also played some outfielder and first base, but you was a pitcher. And I remember warming you up multiple times. I remember being the person sitting down, catching you to warm up to pitch multiple times. I remember you being in left field and me, warming you, throwing balls to you. And I remember when I got put in left field, you was throwing balls to me. Like that came back to my memory the other day. I was like, you know what? I remember the time. I also remember there was multiple times where we have a game out of town and we take the bus to Fairfield or to Armio or to Napa. And I remember sitting next to you multiple times and just vibing. You know what I'm saying? Like it just started coming back to me a few weeks ago or few days ago.
Man, that's dope. That's so, man. There was some good times, man. Especially those bus rides, man. Man, you bring back some good memories, man. Got me smiling ear to ear, man. Because, man, just how baseball it not only brought us together, man, but it kept us bonded. Now 30 plus years later, like we're still connected because because I think maybe during high school we may have had one or two classes together,
right?
But it's because we shared some time on the baseball field together and on those bus rides, warming each other up, playing catch, practicing together, all that kind of stuff. That it went beyond just being teammates. It went beyond just being just general high school classmates to developing a brotherhood that has lasted this long. And truly baseball did that for us. And I tell people all the time, man, when I tell my baseball story, I'm so grateful for baseball because it saved my life. Like, we grew up in Vallejo, of course, and we were all at that crossroad where we could have went left or we could have went right. And we know going left, it could have been all bad because that means you out in the streets, whether it's in the Crest in North Vallejo or South Vallejo or whatever.
Vallejo,
yeah, man. And so if it weren't for baseball, and I remember this so vividly. I'm gonna tell the story real quick before we move on. It was the summer of maybe like I was going into my junior year of high school, so this may have been after my sophomore year, and I was hanging out at near Dan Foley Park, and I was just with some cats that we grew up with, and I'm pretty sure you know some of them, but they was about to get into some stuff, and I knew that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted to lead. But one of my coaches from Babe Ruth was driving by and he saw me and he looked at me and he pulled over and he said, "You need a ride?" I said, "Yeah, coach." And I got into his car. I got in his car. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything to me. I think he felt what I was feeling, and I was feeling what he wanted to say. And right before he dropped me off at home, he looked at me and said, "I'm gonna see you at practice next week, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be there, coach." And from that point on, I never went left ever again. And so for that, I will always say that baseball saved my life because, my coach, he could have drove by and not recognized me if I didn't play baseball. And I could have just been one of the many other cats that was on that corner that day. And so, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, for me, baseball, I will always have this love for baseball, and I will always be grateful for baseball because it truly saved my life. And I'm where I am. No, I never made it to the big leagues, but I still have a good life. I still am successful in many other things, and it's truly because of baseball, because I had something else to
Mm-hmm.
focus on besides the streets. And so from that point on, I just locked into baseball. I was practicing constantly. I was going to I was going to Scandia to the batting cages,
Mm-hmm.
constantly. I was making sure that my spare time was productive and sharpening my craft in baseball so that I would not have a reason to be out there on the streets, because we lost
Mm-hmm.
so many of our classmates, so many of our friends to the streets, so many of them that had a potential of whether it was baseball, football, basketball greatness, but life was cut short because they just made that wrong decision to go left instead of staying on the straight and narrow path. So
Mm-hmm.
this is my tribute to baseball, to say thank you, baseball. And so I just want to make sure that was well known, man. I know, for you, some of your love for baseball is for some similar reasons, that you had that outlet rather than uh going to the parties or going to the streets. You had baseball,
Mm-hmm.
you had family, you had something else that was an outlet besides the street. So I'm hoping that there's some young person who is listening to us right now, man, and can take something from this story, that you can have a different outlet. You don't have to fall to the streets. You don't have to fall victim or to peer pressure or anything like that. There is another way. And maybe for you, baseball is that way. Maybe for you, basketball is that way. Maybe for you, academics is that way, by just staying in the books all summer long. So
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that my story will resonate with somebody else out there, man.
Yeah, that's a great testimony. And you've been on my other podcast show, Revisit Your Dreams, and you
Hmm.
told that story about baseball saving your life.
Yeah.
And now I know another layer of it. I didn't know
Yeah.
the story about what happened at Dan Foley.
Yeah.
So it's all coming full circle. And in that sense, I would make the same claim that baseball saved my life per se, just
Hmm.
but because I didn't interpret it like that. But
Yeah.
in a sense, it did, because we, like you said, we come from the same town, we come from the
Yeah.
same place, and we knew the same people and had some of the same friends in school, and could have went the same direction.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time. I worked a lot. From 10th
Hmm.
grade on through high school, I worked. I had jobs. And then outside of that, when I wasn't working, I was playing baseball,
Yeah.
to keep my time. And when I wasn't actually affiliated with the team during the season,
Hmm.
man, a lot of times, like you said, Scandia, going to the batting
Yeah.
cages, I go up to the park sometimes by myself with a
Yeah.
bucket of balls and just go stand at home plate and just don't toss them up to myself and just see how far I can
Yep.
hit them. Try to place them in certain parts of the field. I would
Exactly.
take a ball and just throw it as high in the air as I can and just try to track it down and catch it. You know, just all those types of things to try to keep my skills sharp, but it kept me out of the streets.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of that by myself, not with friends or nothing, just by myself. But I could have been hanging out with some of those guys.
Right.
I had offers to at times. I
Hmm.
had a car. I could have went wherever my parents let me kind of go because I was kind of
Yeah.
responsible. I could have decided a few
Yeah.
times I did. I ain't gonna lie. I got caught up a couple times, but I
Yeah.
could have did it a whole lot more. And
Yeah.
baseball in that sense kind of did help save my life. So that's a great
Absolutely, man.
testimony, man.
Yeah, so much love to baseball, man, and and it's just going back to where we were about to go. Just talk about how excited we were, to get that first uniform, on uniform pass out day. I thought we would, as we get towards the end of the show, just talk about uniforms a little bit, baseball
Yeah.
uniforms, and you know we can't talk about major league uniforms because we're going to get into our the classic uniforms, our favorite uniforms, stuff like that in a minute. But we can't talk about, especially our era, us, really falling in love with baseball in the 80s, and watching Major League Baseball in the 80s. We cannot forget in the 80s the powder blue era of the uniforms in baseball in the 80s.
My mind went straight to. I mean, I know you was gonna say something, but as soon as you said talking about uniforms, my mind went straight to the powder blue Montreal Expos.
Yes.
Uniforms. Like them used to be fresh to me, man. That ME little red and
that
white
logo, whatever.
logo.
I mean, I love that logo.
Man, I used to
people
love
talk
that,
bad
bro.
about that logo, man. I love the Montreal Expos logo, man. That was dope to me. I didn't know what it meant until later
I was
in
like,
life.
because we didn't know nothing about fonts back then. That was a font,
right.
really. We was like, what kind of shape is that? Is that a music note? What the heck is that?
Is that MB? What is that?
It's MB. It's two colors. What is that?
Right, man. But yeah, man. Expos had the powder blue. The Kansas City Royals, they still pull out the powder blue every now and then. Yeah. But the one I liked the most was the Philadelphia Phillies powder blue. For some reason, that powder blue and with the maroon P on top, man.
Yes.
They need to. I love the Phillies when they had that maroon color instead of they go with the
red now,
the bright red now. But back in the 70s and 80s when they had that maroon color, man, I love those Phillies uniforms.
The Mike Schmidt days.
The Mike Schmidt, yeah, Pete Rose era, yes.
Yeah, bro. Them Phillies was the powder blue with the P, and then they had the stripes down the sleeve right here.
Yeah,
just a little stripe down the sleeve. That was raw, man. And I remember when they came out with starter jackets, and somebody I remember at the school used to have a Philly starter jacket, that powder blue with that maroon P. I was like, man, that's fresh. That's hard.
Man, that was fresh, man.
Super fresh, man.
That was one of my favorites.
Powder blue, I know that was definitely a thing. Still today, like Toronto Blue Jays, they do a version of powder blue these days. Even no, maybe not. I was gonna say the Miami Marlins, but there's a little bit more like a tealish turquoise.
Yeah, they sometimes go back to that teal that they used to wear when they were the Florida Marlins. Yeah. But even back in the 80s, the St. Louis Cardinals, whose colors are red and white, there's no blue in their uniform. They had a powder blue uniform, but it looked good.
Sure did. It did look good. I mean, Ozzie Smith was rocking that mug, man. Ozzie Smith made that mug look fresh, bro. Him and Willie McGee made that powder blue look good. I ain't saying nothing.
Because not only was it the powder blue top, but they had the powder blue pants to go along with it.
The whole bottoms.
Yes. So
man, them were some memorable jerseys.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
If we move on beyond the powder blues, man, I gotta say one of my favorite. I've never owned a jersey, and I've never desired to buy one, but I always thought they was fresh. And that's that Houston Astros with the different stripes, colors. Man, the ones that Nolan Ryan was wearing. You know what I'm talking about? Had the star right here, and then they had the number, the jersey number right here, then they had the stripes. Bruh, Houston Astros was dope.
That uniform went so hard. Yes, sir. That was one of my favorites because they also had the stripe on the pants as well. Man, but that little rank, that's why I was so glad when I got to Babe Ruth. I played for the Reveille Lions. One of the few, there was two teams that used that Houston Astros jersey. Even though our colors were green and white, we had a green version of those horizontal stripes on our jerseys playing for the Reveille Lions. Fresh, and then some people, matter of fact, Jabbar Brown, we talked about him. He played for Moose Lodge. Moose Lodge had the actual Astros colors, so they had their uniforms looked like a replica of the Houston Astros. But man, I used to love those horizontal stripes, man.
Man, fresh. Those are dope, classic. Man. Those are always classic, man. Always classic.
Sir.
And then, man, trying to think of some other ones that really stood out. There a lot of teams have some good uniforms. Some of them still have the very like the Cubs and the Yankees been very traditional for their entire existence. They're classic. What you see, the pinstripes or the solid colors, but they've kind of been the same every year for decades.
Yeah.
And you'll see certain teams will switch. The Dodgers have been the same for a long time.
Bro, those home whites for the Dodgers, I mean, you know how we both feel about the
Super
Dodgers.
clean, bro.
But those home whites for the Dodgers are just so clean. Like, I will watch the Dodgers game, be like, man, their uniforms are so dope. Them home unis just go. I guess it just go well with Dodger Stadium because you got the blue seats. You know, got the powder blue seats at Dodger Stadium.
Powder blue seats. Yep, facts.
Man, and then you got these royal blue, you know, the royal blue lettering, and then you got that red number on the belly. Bro, yeah, Dodgers.
That's so clean.
They just did it right with their uniforms. You know, they kind of
got it right the first time, bro.
Yeah, they kind of switch it up on the road uniforms from time to time, but those home unis don't. Classic. It's like the Yankee pinstripes. They're not going anywhere.
No, not going nowhere. I mean, think about it. Jackie Robinson was wearing the same white with the blue Dodger and the red number on, you know, on by the side.
Exactly.
I mean, still to this day, they still look the same. You know, every time I do some editing and I add a Dodgers picture in there, I'll be like, man, them uniforms are clean.
They cold. Them uniforms is cold.
I can't ever. I can't see myself wearing one. Like my son would have to play for them. for me to wear a Dodgers uniform.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
About it.
But I admire them so much. Same thing with the Yankees. You know, their pinstripe, you know, is classic. And that navy Yankee hat with just the pure white NY on it. Yes. I ain't from New York. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like the Yankees at all. Navy's my favorite color though. And that combination is just so, it's so classic.
Yes, it just works, man. And, you know, just speaking of, you know, just the logos, man, just anytime there's an interlocking letter logo like NY, LA, SF, it always works.
It's dope.
It never fails.
Works. Yep. It never does. Man. Matter of fact, even to the point of this makes your point, how the interlocking never fails. When you remember the White Sox, when they used to just have SOX across the hat.
Yep.
Now they went to the calligraphy SOX, but they all touching each other.
They all touch it,
They all interlock. Man, so you on to something with that one for sure.
The interlocking letters work in baseball. All these, you know, other, you know, logos and stuff, you know, some of them are hit or miss, but the interlocking letters and the what they call it, the old century style lettering, like that Detroit Tigers, that D, classic.
Bro. That's
just
super classic.
One letter, and when you see that one letter, it's like, I already know. I already know.
What's the dude name? Not Andres Galarraga. What's the dude who just retired from there a few years back? But
I know you're talking about.
He was hitting bombs all the time.
Yeah. Oh man, why is his name escaping? I know you're talking about.
But I think he going to the Hall of Fame.
He's going. He
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Y'all Detroit fans, y'all know who we talking about. The main big dog for the last 15 years. He retired 5 or 6 years ago,
see his
maybe.
Face.
But yeah, I can too. Cabrera.
That's it. Manny. Was it Miguel Cabrera?
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah,
Miguel Cabrera. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Miguel Cabrera. Yeah, man. Can't forget about Miggy. They used to call him Miggy.
Miggy, yes.
Yeah.
But those,
we know a lot of baseball, man. It might take a while for it to click, but we know
it's gonna come. It's gonna come for sure. But the Tigers uniforms, you know, with that old Royal style D, you know, that's another one. They ain't going to what. Now they'll, you know, do some changing with their road unis every now and then, but that classic home unit, I mean, it's just a white uniform, royal blues piping, and that D. It's simple, but that's what I wish more baseball teams understood. Simplicity works. Like, you don't have to be outlandish with your uniforms. Keep it simple, man. Because for me, the best uniforms, if I were to create a baseball team today, the uniform colors are either going to be red and white or blue and white. That's it. Because those colors just work for a baseball uniform.
Absolutely, they definitely do. I start thinking about classic uniforms, and we were talking about Boston, and I don't really dig with Boston too much.
Yeah.
None of their teams really, but no disrespect to Red Sox fans out there. They've had some great teams and
Mm-hmm.
some great players that I really like watching. Johnny Damon, Big Papi, Pedro Martinez. Like I know who the Red Sox are.
Yeah.
Just don't like them.
Right.
but
Exactly.
but they one of their hats though, that navy cap with just the two red socks on it.
Oh
Man, that's
yes,
so clean. I
I
love
like
that
that.
though. It
Yeah,
just got the
I do
two
like
red
that one as
socks
well.
on it. That's fresh.
Yeah, I think they end up putting the two red socks now on their shoulder now. But
Yeah.
yeah, that logo definitely works. I mean, the B it's okay because it's the same B that UCLA baseball uses, that same letter and style B
Mm-hmm.
on their caps. But yeah, you're right. The two socks, yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely works. But man,
Yeah.
I want to ask in a minute. I want us to have like a uniform draft, and we're gonna talk about our favorites of different categories. But before we get there, recently I think it was either a year ago or 2 years ago, um, Major League Baseball ended their uniform deal with Majestic for a number of years. Majestic, a lot of people don't even know who Majestic is, but they
Mm-hmm.
made baseball uniforms for Major League Baseball for a good 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Majestic, they also made like a lot of apparel for baseball, some jackets and stuff like that. So if you're not a true baseball fan, you probably don't even know who Majestic is. But
Yeah.
after that contract ended a couple years ago, Nike came on board. So now Nike has the NFL. They make the NFL uniforms. They make the NBA
Mm.
uniforms and the Major League Baseball uniforms. Nike has, for when it comes to uniform, Nike has the game on lock. We already know all the
For
college
sure.
sports that have deals with Nike, but this was
TSU just
unprecedented.
signed with Nike. My alma mater just signed
See
with
there,
Nike last week.
see there, Nike rounding up everybody, man, and
Yep.
you know, and I get it. Nike is the leader when it comes to sports apparel, but it was kind of unprecedented for baseball because baseball, for Major League Baseball, because they had held out from joining the Nike train for so long that you would think that they
Mm-hmm.
would have went with maybe allowed Rawlings, or a historically known baseball brand to make the uniforms, but they went with Nike. And so my question is, has Nike helped baseball, or have they made some of the uniforms too busy? Because we know, you know, they come out with these City Connect uniforms that Nike
Yeah.
produces, and so some people say they don't like that Nike puts their swoosh on the front of the uniform, because Majestic just had a little small logo on the shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and now Nike, the swoosh is prevalent
Yeah.
on the uniforms now. So some of the more traditionalists in baseball, they're like, man, I just don't like that baseball. Has gone with the swoosh, gone with Nike. But
Yeah.
to you, man, has it helped the game, or has it hurt the game?
I I, I would say that um, it's done more to. I won't say how it affected the game itself, but how people feel about their teams, because the uniform and the pride in that, we just talked about the pride of us getting a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Those fans, all the fans, most of them, a lot of them played baseball, and they remember that same level of pride of getting a
Yes.
uniform. And they buy jerseys and wear them, and they want to wear the best looking ones. A lot of them
Right.
are highly intrigued by the classic uniforms. So when Nike comes in, Nike is not just a uniform manufacturer. They make shoes,
Mm-hmm.
they make a million different products and put a Nike
Yes.
logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Rawlings and Majestic, they pretty much do baseball or just stick to a small amount of sports. So
Right.
they're traditional, and the traditional looks come along with Rawlings, come along with Majestic.
Mm-hmm.
The more flamboyant looks, the more eccentric looks, the more experimental looks are coming
Mm-hmm.
from Nike. And um, I would say that for the traditional baseball enthusiasts like you and I, we would probably prefer the more traditional styles, the classic styles. But the younger generation, I think, are excited by
Yeah.
colors and by variety and
Agreed.
by, being able to wear a different style. You know, maybe I don't like black and orange, but I'm a huge Giants fan. So when they make a navy and white Giants jersey, I'm a rock it because
Yes.
that's my favorite colors.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it from that sense. It opens the field for more people to be
Yeah.
fans of the game in today's world, but it's nothing like the classic uniforms and the classic looks. I think
Yeah.
if when you go back to the history of the game, you remember they're starting to do it again now. But there was a time where before this year, the All-Star game, they had uniforms. Everybody was in the same uniform. They
Yes.
had American
Yes.
League had one uniform and National League had one uniform. I hated
Yeah.
when they did that.
I did too.
I'm so glad they went back to everybody wearing the uniform from the team they come from.
Yeah.
I love that so much, man, because you get to see, you know, you get to really see who these players are. You get to really understand. When they was all in the same, you don't know who's who. That's probably
Yeah.
what made it less desirable to watch. It's like I
Yeah.
don't know these teams. I don't even
Yeah.
know who I'm watching.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. And I have similar feelings when it comes to, Nike stamp now on Major League Baseball. Overall, I see it as a good thing because us as an older generation now. That's crazy to say, but it is what it is. But us as an older generation and more traditional. Yeah, because we grew up on like you said, the Yankee pinstripes, the standard, black and orange, with the Giants or the green and gold, and there was no alternative jerseys. When we were coming up, you had your home whites and your road grays. That was it.
Yeah, yep,
you
yep.
you may have had a couple teams, that may have had, I know the A's, for a while, in the 80s, they had like a green pullover before they had the button
Mm-hmm.
ups. They had the
Mm-hmm.
pullovers. And I think the Giants even had an orange one, but that was
Yep.
rare that you would see them. But now there's a special day of the week that you're going to see these alternative jerseys. The A's, they're going to wear a gold Sacramento jersey on Saturdays. On Sundays, they're going to wear a green jersey. And so the Giants have their day when they pull out their orange jerseys or the black or the black jerseys. And I think
Mm-hmm.
with Nike now in the mix, it's given these teams more of a variety with their uniforms, because we see this now with football. Football's now opening up to different uniforms rather than just their traditional two uniforms. Most teams have a plethora, and I think this all started with the University of Oregon, because of course that's where Nike's from. you know
Yeah,
we all know how many, the endless amount of uniform options
that's real.
the University of Oregon had. But because they had the best Nike equipment, they had a number of different uniforms that attracted these players that would have
Mm-hmm.
normally went to a UCLA or USC, or maybe a school back east. They were being drawn to the University of Oregon because I'm gonna get all this Nike gear. I'm gonna get all these. We're gonna wear a different uniform every single Saturday, and now you see that transferring over to other sports. Now you see in Major League Baseball, with the City Connect, even though some of these City Connect ones, I'm like, man, that's trash. But
Yeah.
the younger audience loves that. They want to see the
Mm-hmm.
variety in the colors. They want to see the different uniforms, and the alternative jerseys and things like that. And plus, Nike just brings so much more than just the uniform. Like, so now you
Mm-hmm.
got jackets, you got t-shirts, you got all different types of apparel, team apparel under the Nike umbrella. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
which just really opens them up to a wider audience. Now I'm seeing kids who normally wouldn't be baseball fans, they wearing a Nike jacket with the New York Yankees or the LA Dodgers or the Giants on it, even though they don't even know nobody on that team. It's just because it got that swoosh on it and it looks good.
Mm-hmm. And it looks
So it's
good.
happening, and it's nothing that we could do about it. This train is rolling. This is where we are. So even though some of the uniforms may be a little bit too busy for me, for my liking,
Yeah.
if it brings more eyes to the game of baseball, I'm with it.
I'm for it. I agree. I'm with it. If I'm more traditionalist, you and I are both more kind of traditional with the classic baseball looks. But if it's like you said, if it's going to bring more eyes and attention to the game, let the game grow and expand. For the first one that comes to mind with the Giants is just they have a city version that is is all black, but and it has Giants on it, but the colors is like I'm just gonna say it's like a pride jersey.
Yeah.
It's pride colors, and it has some piping, some stripe piping along the sleeve that are like the pride color. And I think that's relative to where they are in San Francisco, and with all due respect to every culture and everybody in that area, it opens up the door for more people to be excited about baseball, to support the Giants, to spend money and buy a uniform, to come to the game, because everybody's included with these different uniform styles. You can kind of include a little bit of everybody. You could create an older style uniform that looks classic to bring back some of the older generation. Then you can create something that looks like young, like a cartoonish almost, and get the young kids. Then if you can create something that's military style, camo based or something like that, and bring that sector of people. Like, there's so many different things that Nike can do, and I agree with you. It probably started with Oregon, University of Oregon.
It did, man. It did, man. So we'll see. What comes out. I'm pretty sure Nike got some more things up their sleeve to just be a little bit more creative. I will say that those City Connect Giants jerseys, I'm personally, I'm just not a fan of them. Not because of the colors.
Right.
I just don't like that font. It just looked like graffiti.
It looked like bubble graffiti, and it's and then you don't get the feel of the Giants at all, because it's black, but there's a whole lot of black.
But when it comes to the Giants,
all the teams got a little bit of black somewhere.
I mean, not black and gold, but when it comes to the Giants, it's black and orange. Stick with that, man. Like that jersey you got on right now, that will work for me as a City Connect. That's classic
for
right
real,
there, man. Yeah,
it works.
So man.
But all due respect, man, Nike, y'all keep doing whatever you got to do to bring more people to the game. If Major League Baseball, if y'all feel like that's going to bring more people to the game, cool. But understand that there's a large population of baseball enthusiasts and fans that still and always will love the classics.
That's right. I mean? That's right. And that's why you have teams like the Yankees who said, we're not doing a City Connect, because they truly are like, why would you mess with that? Why would you mess with the pinstripes? Like, there's nothing that we could do to make an alternative jersey or a City Connect jersey that could be better than these home whites with pinstripes. So just nah.
There's so much pride in this organization.
Yeah.
There's so much pride in this organization. There's so much history in this organization. Why would we fool with it? People are proud of the New York Yankees from all people that ain't never ever been to New York. They love that color. They love that look. Like, I know my dad ain't no Yankee fan, but he got about 5 Yankee hats.
See?
He ain't no Yankee fan at all, but he loved that cap.
Yeah. There's 2 caps that you could go anywhere in this country and they may not even be fans, but they love the cap, or they make it in alternate colors and they just go with they fit. That Yankee hat and that Dodgers hat. I got a black and white Dodgers hat. So, and if I'm wearing black and white, it go perfect with it.
I might have to get a black on black one.
So it don't show.
So it don't show to LA. Be like, bruh.
Right.
This is a different team, and they in Louisiana.
Right. This is Louisiana. This ain't LA. All right, man. We're going into the 7th inning stretch. We go do a uniform draft, and we're gonna do it based on certain categories. So let's go with it. So the first category is best home uniform. Who do you got?
Best home. Oh man, that's bruh. I hate to say it, man.
Yeah.
That Dodger white man is just nasty, man.
I know it.
That Dodger
I know.
white is just nasty, man. Like, ain't no other uniform I look at and be like, that's cold. Every time I see it, not even the Giants.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
like, man, that's every time I see it, I say the
Every
same
time.
thing. That's clean. No matter if I see it out in public, man, it's clean.
Yeah,
if I see one in the store,
Mm-hmm.
if I see him on TV, as I'm editing, I'm doing graphics with pictures, I'm like, man, that's clean. I just did a thing with David Price. He played for the Dodgers. David Price got drafted by the Dodgers, in 2004, but straight out of high school in the 19th round, and he decided to go to college for Vanderbilt, and then he got drafted number 1 overall. But he played with the Dodgers.
He ended up playing with them. Yeah.
I say the Dodgers, man. Them Dodgers home whites to me is the most classic and the best looking ones out there.
I agree 100% with you, bro. And then when you have a player, I hate to say it, but when you have a player like somebody with the stature and the physique of like a Shohei Ohtani, that dude just looks good, and that I mean,
he do
no homo or nothing like that, but that dude just looks good in a Dodger uniform.
He make that, and Mookie Betts make it look good too.
Mookie does too.
Betts, he'll leave these first 2 buttons open, had them chains hanging out.
Yes, sir.
Man, and Mookie Betts be making them Dodgers uniforms look good too, man.
Just because I love Mookie so much, if I ever get a Dodgers jersey, I would get a Mookie Betts jersey.
Get a 50, yeah.
I would get a 50.
But
just to switch it up, just so we have another edition, and now I'm gonna go with my second pick, and this is another classic home white, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh yes,
that red and white
with them bird, the bat,
with the bird sitting on the bat, man.
Yeah, that's cold. That's so clean.
That's another team that got it right the first time. When they went from being the St. Louis Browns to the St. Louis Cardinals, they just got it right. They got it right.
They got it right. Their logo is that's a super classic logo. It reminds me of it just reminds me of straight up baseball. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if the actual logo itself that's on the Cardinals jersey with the bat with the red bird and it says Cardinals in cursive.
Yeah.
Now that patch right there, that might be the best patch in all of baseball.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So yeah, that's my pick. And even with the Cardinals, their cap, the red cap with the STL interlock. Like normally, you would think with St. Louis it'd be SL, but they included the T, and so it's STL. Man, it just works, man. Like I said,
right.
Red and white and blue and white jerseys, uniforms, you can't miss. You cannot miss.
You can't miss. Like I wasn't even thinking about red and white and blue and white. You said that earlier in the episode. I wasn't even thinking about it from that perspective. I was just trying to think of the ones that I thought was dope. But man, both of them are classic white and dope. Like I don't see. I don't see no other jerseys that I think would even come close to competing as the best. There's a lot of them that I like, but I don't see none that I could think was better than them, man.
Yeah, those are my top two. Even the Cardinals, that's a classic uniform for their City Connect. They said we're not branching out too much, so they just changed the lettering Cardinals. They kept the birds sitting on the bat and changed the Cardinal lettering to just say the Lou. That's it.
Oh man, yeah. I have seen people with the Lou on there.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and I like that's how you do a City Connect. You got the city's nickname, but you don't lose that classic feel. I love it.
Yep, that's dope. Yeah, for sure. I couldn't see, now that I think about it, I don't see how any other city, because the Lou is that's people from there refer to that as their city. I don't see another city that has a nickname like that would look good on their jersey.
Right. Exactly.
But the Lou, because it also, if you think about from baseball, the Louisville Slugger bat.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I see the Lou, I always think of Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
So that's just adds to the classic nature of that, man.
Absolutely, man. All right, so we're moving on to the best road unis. Who you got? Now, I'll preface by saying this: road unis are hard because most of them, everybody's wearing the grays, so that makes it a little bit harder for the road unis. So you really just got to look at the gray and what color scheme looks best on the gray.
Bruh, I this ain't no joke, man. Because there's a lot of red and blue in the league. Mm-hmm. So when you make the base gray, a lot of teams blend in.
Yeah.
The Guardians blend in with the Braves, blend in with, several other teams. Even though the Blues aren't the same, you got the Cubs and, you got other teams but man, I ain't gonna lie, that Oakland A's green and gold on top of that gray.
Yes. Yeah.
That looks cold. With the cursive Oakland.
Yeah.
With the cursive Oakland. Mm-hmm. Man, that's pretty dope. I like the one we just seen in the clip where the dude got the ruptured testicle. Right. The ones he had. I'm talking about the jersey he had on.
Yeah, that one.
Those
works.
Are fresh.
Yeah. And I think both A's home and away. They've had those same jerseys since the 80s. The 80s. I would say like mid 80s. They started wearing the cursive athletics on their home whites. And it's been that way. So we're talking 40 years now, and they have not steered away because it just looks good. And when you figure it out, because the A's went through a lot of different uniforms in the early 80s. They had the home whites for a minute with the green piping. Then they had the pullovers, a gold version, a green version, a gray version. But once they finally settled on that cursive athletics going across, don't. I hope when they move to Vegas that they don't switch up, because it's becoming another classic uniform. And that, you're right, that green and gold on top of the gray. Yeah, it works.
If they switch up, man, when they go to Vegas, they're going to have to recreate half of their fan base, because now at least you have a certain percentage of Oakland A's fans that's still in California, still in the Bay Area, that as long as they can relate to that team through the uniform that they still have in their closet, they could still see themselves being fans of it. So when they travel and they just say athletics on it, I'm still an A's fan. But if they change the colors and change the logo to some black and silver or some other different color scheme, you pretty much you did what you're doing what that California Angels did. You isolating down to Anaheim now.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Well, for me, man, when it comes to road units, I was trying to think, okay, is there any other road uniforms that stand out today? And I'm gonna go. This is probably a one that's out of left field, and some of the folks out there on the squad, y'all might not agree with me on this pick, but I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres. Those, it's like, I don't even know if it's gray. It's like a brownish gray. They got like this brownish gray uniform with the brown pinstripes, and the brown lettering with the gold with the gold trim. It almost looks like you remember them the chocolate and banana bomb popsicles.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
That's what it looks like to me.
That's exactly what it looks like. Man, as soon as you said, I'm like, ding! He hit it right on the head. Yes, exactly.
The bomb pops. That's what I call it. The bomb pop uniform.
The brown and yellow ones. Yeah. Yes, those actually do look good though. They do look good.
I like them.
And I think, if they didn't have Fernando Tatis on their team, or Tatis Jr., I think his name is.
Yeah.
And Manny Machado, them uniforms probably wouldn't look as good. But them dudes make that uniform look good, man.
They do. Yes, indeed.
They make that uniform look good, bro.
So yeah, that's my pick. I'm going with the Padres on that one. And so now we're gonna go to the next round. We're gonna talk about throwbacks. What's your favorite throwback uniform?
Man, I already said it, bro. That to me,
yep.
First thing I think about on a throwback baseball jersey is that Houston Astros jersey with the stripes. Yep. I think about Nolan Ryan on the mound pitching. And that's what comes to mind when I think about a throwback baseball jersy.
Yep, I'm there with you. And I don't even have a second choice. I had it written down. Those Astros with the vertical stripes. I call them the rainbow jerseys. Man, there's not in my opinion, I guess yours too. There is not a better throwback jersey. When if I was the Houston Astros, I would make sure that those were in regular rotation still today. I know that they, switched up from time to time, and even had a time where they changed colors. They had that navy blue and that old gold. Hated those uniforms.
Me too.
During the Jeff Bagwell era.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That era of uniforms, I think what happened, man, I will say that when the league expanded and they brought the Arizona Diamondbacks in, the Diamondbacks made a lot of other because they brought in a new, different look. I never really like it, and I still don't really care for it, but they brought it a different style of look that made other teams say, maybe I can try something like that. Yep. And I think that's when the Houston Astros went to that kind of style. Yeah, I didn't really care for those. You exactly right, that Jeff Bagwell era. I didn't like those.
Me neither. And I remember, I guess this was like early 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, where, and that's, that time when the Diamondbacks and the Florida Marlins were just coming into the league as expansion teams. And there were expansion teams coming into leagues in different sports. You had it in football and basketball as well. But there was this thing with teal blue. Yep. Like you had in baseball, you had the Diamondbacks had a bit of teal in there. Of course, the Florida Marlins, they were deep in the teal blue. NBA, you had the Charlotte Hornets that had the teal blue. NFL, you had the Carolina Panthers. Even the NHL, one of our hometown teams, the San Jose Sharks, was part of that teal. So teal was like everybody was jumping on that teal, and it just made some of the more classic teams, wonder, oh well, maybe we need to change our color scheme during that era, and it just didn't work for a lot of them teams. You've seen a lot of those teams that changed their colors, like those classic teams, like the Astros. Even the Blue Jays for a moment, they had this horrible different logo besides the bird logo for a moment. Because they were trying so many different things. Most of those teams that tried to switch it up during that teal era, they end up going back to the classics. And we see in the Astros with that. Even though their uniforms a little different, they went back to that orange and navy, which works for them. That works for them. So
that works, and it looks really good. And you're perfectly right about the teal. And then if you think about it, there was an era where everybody started to add black to their jerseys.
Yes.
There was a time. So I don't know which team started, but I remember when the Philadelphia 76ers, when Allen Iverson was on the squad, and they went straight to the black jerseys.
Yeah.
I want to say that probably jumped it off, because a lot of other teams after that across all leagues started include, even if it was just adding a black outline to the letters, they wanted to try to find a way to identify that way. And one team went all the way in, and they still there. And I think that they kind of maybe hurting themselves. That's my opinion. That's the Chicago White Sox. Yeah. Chicago White Sox was red, navy, and white, navy, and red.
Yep. And then they went with the all black.
If you under 30 years old, you don't even know that, because they went all black and white and that's where they at.
Like in Harold Baines era.
See, I'm talking about. You already know Harold Baines. I forgot about Harold Baines. Harold Baines used to hit too, man. I forgot about Harold Baines. Yes, man. That the logo for the White Sox almost reminded me of the Major League Baseball
That's
logo.
right. They had that. Yeah.
With the dude that looked like he's batting or something with the helmet
that's a
on.
hat I would love to get. I would love to get that hat with the guy. Yeah, that logo with the almost looked like the Major League logo. I would like to have that hat.
Yeah. That's classic, man. And but if you think about it, the White Sox, I won't say they dug themselves in a hole, but unless they decide to change their colors, they can't go too far left or right.
Yeah,
it's black and white. That's it.
It's black and white.
You kind of relegated yourself to that. So Miami, the Marlins could afford to do that because they changed it to the Miami Marlins. So now they can be more colorful. You in Miami.
Yeah.
It's color everywhere. You know,
Flamingo,
but when those Florida
colors and stuff, yeah.
You know, so man, it's crazy how colors have a impact on the sport like that.
Absolutely, man. All right, next round, we're talking about your favorite hat logo. So think about all the hats in Major League Baseball. Which logo on a hat? Not the logo that may be the team logo, but sometimes the logo on the hat is different than the team's logo. So for
sure.
you, who has the best hat logo?
That's a good one. The most classic to me is, of course, that navy and white Yankees.
Yeah,
like that's undeniable.
Undeniable, man.
No matter where you see it, it looks good. No matter who got it on, it looks good. But I don't know, man.
It's a tough one. This is
a tough one, man. On the hats.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. My mind is going. I'm looking at the hat. It's a tough one.
For me, it went. You know, like I said earlier, the interlocking letters, classic.
Yeah, classic. I'll say this, man. This is a hat that I really like. I wish that the blue in it was just a little bit darker because it would look more like cow colors.
Okay.
But man, I like the Milwaukee Brewers with that logo that looks like a glove, but it's an M and a B.
Yes. I'm with you.
I love that one, bro.
Yes.
I love that because it looked like a glove, but if you really look at it, it's an M and a B.
And then it has a baseball in the palm. Yeah, that is a good. I'm glad they went back to it because during the CC era in Milwaukee, I didn't really care for those uniforms. But when they went back to the blue,
they made it look like they made it look like beer. Like they tried to make it look like a beer can or something.
Right. It looked like Miller beer or something.
You know,
I know that was their sponsor back then. It was called Miller Park back then, but you know they went too far in trying to please a sponsor or something. Because they truly look like they should have been called the Miller Beer Brewers.
Had a little piece of wheat or something underneath the letter or something. Yeah, man.
But I was so glad they went back to the classic logo and the lighter blue. It ain't you're right. It's not the cow bears blue and gold, but it's that classic Milwaukee Brewers blue. And you're right. That hat logo. That's dope to me. It truly is. I'm glad they got back to that one. That was actually going to be my second pick. So
okay,
I think we're on the same line. But I start just thinking about for me with a hat, I just like simplicity. So of course, like the Giants and their SF. That's so simple, but it just looks good. LA Dodgers, same thing. Yankees, of course. But for me, simple and it looks good. That right there. That's my choice.
That's super clean, bro. You're not lying. You're not lying. Like for
those of you listening to the audio version, I'm talking about the traditional home Oakland A's cap.
Yeah, the yellow bill with the green top and the
Yes,
white
sir.
A's.
Yeah.
That's very classic. If I really think about it, there's the only other team that just has that type of letter combination is the Orioles with the O
With
and
that, yeah.
apostrophe S.
Yeah,
But
they just started
everybody
that
else,
not too long ago, but yeah, I think there's
yeah,
only those two.
everybody else has 2 or 3 letters
Mm-hmm.
or a symbol
Yeah.
on their cap.
The Mariners
So
tried it for a minute, tried to be known as the M's. It just didn't work.
yeah, nah. Yeah, you're right. They did try to get known as the M's. That didn't work. Nah,
Yeah.
stay as the Mariners because it wasn't classic.
Right.
The
Right.
M's.
It just
Nah,
don't even
but the
sound right.
A's, they don't even sound right. But the A's, I mean, it's the first letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
It stands for athletics. So you got the A, the first letter and the last letter, on the cap. Um, and it's the one team that you can call them by their letter and
Mm-hmm.
not be out of line with naming the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you say the O's, people ain't thinking about the Orioles.
Right. Right. But when
They're
you
like,
say
who
the
the
A's,
O's?
they know who you're talking about.
They know exactly what you're talking about. And
And
then
I'll
if
be
you think about
honest,
it, ain't no other
I
letter.
didn't.
Ain't no B's and
Ain't no
R's and
B.
T's.
No, no. Ain't none of that even working. And I didn't even know they were the athletics probably until middle school.
Yep.
Like I just
Just
knew that they
A's.
were the A's.
Yeah. Same thing. I thought it was just athletics, and then it's an elephant. What is it? What they talking
Right.
about? I don't know no athletic elephants.
I think it was shortly before they switched to these uniforms they have now with the cursive athletics across when I discovered, oh, that's what the A represent. That's what the
Yeah.
A means, athletics. But
Athletics.
I was probably maybe like fifth or sixth grade when I realized, oh, they're the Oakland Athletics, not the Oakland A's.
Yep.
But yeah, so
Correct.
yeah,
You're
that's
right. There was
my
a time
choice.
where all I knew was the A's.
Yeah.
That's a super classic hat, man. A super classic color combination. How many other teams? Maybe the Braves in Cleveland have navy and red.
Yeah.
But everybody else is pretty solid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They're like the top and the brim is all the same color.
You may have some
But it's not
teams
too many
now.
teams that got
Yeah. Some of them they alternate uniform nowadays. They'll have a different color bill. Like the Giants, they have now the orange bill. I have that hat too.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But not many teams.
But it wasn't classic like
It
that.
wasn't classic. No.
The
There's
Giants,
not many
their
teams.
classic hat is just all black with an
Black on
orange
black.
SF.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the case for most teams. Like you said, yes, the A's and maybe a few other teams, out there. Speaking of which, going back to the Expos, that was a dope hat as well.
Sure
because they actually had that on one of them, that front panel was white and the back of the rest of the hat was blue with the logo on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just white right here and all blue, and then a blue bill with
Yeah.
that logo. That was super classic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, super classic.
Yeah, that might be one of the next hats I invest in is the old school Expos cap.
Expos, man. Yeah, for sure. Those was classic. And I think the Brewers kind of did that same thing. They had all navy with the yellow right
They
here.
had a yellow, you're right.
A minute.
Yep, they sure did. Yep. All right, man. So we got two more. Your worst uniform ever.
Oh man. I mean, I never really liked the White Sox uniform just because it's too plain, just black and white, especially the black with the pinstripe pants.
Yeah.
I'd rather you just go all black or all gray or all
it seemed
white.
like they were trying to copy the Yankees or something with the pinstripes.
I'm like, they trying to copy the Yankees and compete with their crosstown rivals, the
right,
Cubs.
and that too,
bruh. Like, be your own self, man. That's probably why y'all ain't won nothing. But honestly, the ones I really don't like, I've never since they came into the league, both of them expansion teams, the Florida Marlins and the Diamondbacks. I never really liked those.
Me
Now, I
neither.
would say Diamondbacks. I'll put Diamondbacks at the bottom. There's no Diamondbacks jersey that I ever thought looked good that I ever wanted to
Me
wear.
neither. Me
Even
neither.
even when Randy Johnson was pitching in
Mhm.
them, I was like, he's still I forgot the other guy that they had that was really good, made a big play in the World Series, had a couple really good hits in the World
Oh, the
Series. He's in
hitter.
the Hall of Fame. He's in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame too, I think. He
They
barely
call him
made it in the Hall of Fame, but he made it.
They call him Gonzo. Last name
Gonzo,
Gonzalez.
Adrian Gonzalez, or
Adrian
I think
Gonzalez.
Gonzo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gonzo. Yeah, man. But I never. I would say the Diamondbacks, man. I don't really like them
Yeah.
jerseys.
I agree.
No version of them.
No versions. Till this day, they still haven't got their uniforms right. So I agree there. I went with, since you mentioned the White Sox, I went with the White Sox, but just a particular year. And I don't know how I don't, let me rephrase it. I don't remember, but I just recall seeing footage of these uniforms, because I'm talking about the 1976 White Sox home uniforms, and you got to look them up. You're going to crack up laughing. The 1976 White Sox home uniforms, bro, they wore shorts. They wore shorts. They look like a softball team.
Oh, man.
You see it?
They look like they playing rugby or something, bro. They got a rugby uniform on, bro.
And the jersey, they had collars.
Man, hell no. Nah. For real? Oh, that's ugly as hell. I'm sorry. That's ugly as hell. Brothers out there.
Who thought of that?
Hairy knees, man.
Can you imagine sliding
in shorts? What was they thinking?
Man, they were desperate. They were desperate for attention. The Cubs, of course, Ernie Banks was playing back then, so they was garnering all the attention across town. I don't know.
Hey man, in case y'all can see, I'm gonna show y'all what these uniforms is looking like, bro.
Look at them knees,
bro. Look at bro. Hairy legs, man. Look at them knees. Look ugly as a cow. Them some ugly uniforms, bro.
Look horrible.
Let me see. This dude look mad that he got it on.
Right. I'll be mad too. Show it. Look at that. Oh man, bruh. You ain't never living that one down.
That's ugly, man.
With the butterfly collar too. You know that's the 70s.
Man, come on, man. What? Y'all, that's the White Sox? Y'all been stretching for decades, man. Y'all need to quit. You need to cut it.
Y'all need to tear up.
Oh man, y'all need to quit, man.
Oh man.
Oh, bro, those are nasty uniforms, man.
Yeah, man, you gotta make a clip of that one.
For real, bro. Look at this dude at the plate with these. He even batting the way they batting. It's like they trying to bat like the style of the uniforms they got on. Like, man, I ain't trying to get my knees hit with the ball.
Look like somebody gym coach or something.
Oh man, exactly. That's crazy, man. Oh, y'all got to go look up the 1976 Chicago White Sox uniforms.
You'll get a good laugh. Trust us.
Wow. Crazy.
All right, but we gonna finish off this round with the worst with the worst logo ever. Who you got for the worst logo?
Oh, my camera lens get clear. Man, the worst logo ever. Still, I don't know why my camera won't get clear, but I still don't like those. I still don't like the Diamondbacks.
The snake biting the ball.
Yeah, man, I still don't like the Diamondbacks. To me, that's probably one of the worst. I can't think of too many more that I was like. the Houston Astros, I guess I didn't really like that star, the
Oh,
Jeff
that was
Bagwell
horrible.
star.
Yes,
You know,
that was horrible.
I didn't really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually my number 2 pick, was that ugly star they had during that Jeff Bagwell era. It just didn't work.
And I don't know, I really didn't. Honestly, that Brewers cap with the B with the wheat,
With the wheat,
on it.
yeah,
I didn't really like that neither.
I didn't like that either. For me, I'm gonna go with the early 2000 Blue Jays. So this was who was in that era? I can't think of none of the players. One is coming to mind. I can see his face and his first name, Carlos. Oh gosh, can't remember his last name. Anyway, early 2000 Blue Jays, when they changed their logo, instead of having the bird on the logo on the cap, they went with a T with a muscle bird like hugging the T. It was horrible.
Blue Jays.
On the Blue Jay, I think it only stuck for maybe a couple years, and they got rid of it and went back to the classic Blue Jay hat. But I don't know what they were thinking. It was like this muscle bound Blue Jay bird, and you could like see his biceps. It was bad.
Blue Jays.
You got to pull it up. You got to find it. It was. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all trying to.
What year you think
it was
that
like
might be?
early try like 2000 Blue Jays logo. It should have been like in the 2000s, like early 2001, 2002.
Oh yeah, that's ugly. They got a big T, big red T, and a muscle bird. He kind of throw. Yeah, that's ugly.
That's ugly.
That's hella ugly, man. That looked like a. So what it looks like is a classic AA or single A team hat.
Yeah,
like their name could have been like the Mudbirds or something like that. Like that's what it looked.
Yes. It does look like minor league. It sure does.
Yeah, it looks like a minor league cap.
I
no
think
disrespect
that was
to the minor league, but
but I think that was even during the time they were doing some remodeling to the Sky Dome, and they had to play in Buffalo. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was during that time that they was wearing this logo when they had to play in Buffalo for a moment. And now that name come back, Carlos Delgado. That was during that era.
Yeah.
Carlos Delgado. Yeah, he was a dope player. But yeah, I couldn't stand that logo. It was bad. Yeah, okay, man.
That's an ugly logo.
It is. Thanks. And so we're done with our draft, but we're not going to be done talking about uniforms, because for our last cut, we're still going to be talking about uniforms. You ready for the last cut?
Let's go.
Swing at anything, right?
Man, throw me one down the middle, though.
I got you. Here we go. It's coming right at you. All right, so here's a question. You can wear one baseball uniform for the rest of your life. Any era, any team, home, it could be road, it could be throwback, it could be a Negro League uniform, it could be a City Connect, it could be anything. What jersey are you picking to wear?
This gonna sound odd, maybe, but because you threw Negro League jerseys in there, one jersey I have always loved, and it's simple though. It's gray with navy right here, like a navy piping right here, and it just says Grays on it.
Yeah, the Homestead Grays.
The Homestead Grays.
Yes.
Man, to me, every time I see that jersey, I'm like, I want one of those.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Yeah, and the great Josh Gibson played for the Homestead Grays.
Yeah. Those are classic for sure. If I had to wear one for the rest of my life, it probably would be that. Like if they said, look, we putting you in a room right now, all of the jerseys lined up here, all of the baseball jerseys, you have to choose one, and you gonna be in this everywhere you go. is probably gonna be that Homestead Grays.
Yeah, that's a dope one, man. And I I thought it was a gray and black, because all the pictures back then were black and white.
And
And
maybe black, but I think it's navy.
no, it is navy. You're right. You're right. But I thought it was
Okay.
gray and black because all the pictures. It wasn't until I believe it wasn't until later when of course, Major League Baseball started honoring the Negro leagues, and they had some of the players who were still living wear their jerseys, and I'm like, oh, it's navy on top of the gray jersey. So yeah, that did look good, and that stripe on the shoulder, yeah, for a jersey that they wore back in the 20s and 30s, it looked good.
Yeah.
So for me, man, I didn't write one down, so I would say
Why my camera's doing that?
I'm gonna go with this jersey because I always had somewhat of an affinity towards this team. Never like truly been a fan, but I always like their uniforms. And I like the color scheme. And if I had to pick one out of all the uniform, styles that they had over the years, I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates, the gold jerseys of the Roberto Clemente, even the Bill Matlock, young Dave Parker era, when those gold pullover jerseys,
Yeah.
I would rock that every day if I had one.
Yeah.
And I would probably get the a number 21 in honor of Roberto Clemente.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those pullover jerseys, when they wore black underneath them.
Yeah.
The black 3/4 sleeves underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are dope. Those are dope.
I always liked the Pirates uniforms. That black and gold. I mean, it's just when you think of black and gold, you think of Pittsburgh. I mean, the Pirates, the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, all their teams wear black and gold, and it just looks good. Whether it's the Steelers or the Pirates, I don't think there has been a Pirates uniform, even when teams started wearing the vests in like the late '90s or early 2000s. The Pirates vests were one of the few that I said, yeah, that looks good. I know they used to wear the vest jerseys, back in the day, like in the 50s and 60s. And so it was really just a homage back to those days. But the Pirates did it right. The whites with either they had the black T-shirt on underneath or a gold T-shirt. It just looked good. And even sometimes they would pull out the all blacks or the all gold uniforms. I even like the old uniforms when they had the those caps with the stripes going around the cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
like those.
Yeah.
And they was even designed different. Like those caps were designed. They were designed like like kind of like those caps that Davy Crockett used to wear.
Yeah, like what the train conductors wear, something
train
like
conductors.
that.
Yeah. Not Davy Crockett, but
I used to love. So even to this day, the Pirates
it had vertical pinstripes.
Yeah.
I mean horizontal pinstripes.
Horizontal pinstripes.
Yeah.
I love those caps, man. And so even today, I like the Pirates uniforms. Now that's a place that's definitely on my bucket list of stadiums to visit. I definitely want to check out a game, a Pirates game, a home game. Just that backdrop of seeing the city skyline with that gold bridge, man. Man, that looks so dope.
It does look dope. I can't wait to go, man. We gotta when we get this thing rolling, enough to make it make sense. We got to go to like a 2-game series.
Yeah,
I mean, not necessarily when they only playing 2 games. They could be playing 3 or 4 games, but we might catch 2 of the game, catch a night game, and then the next afternoon game,
catch a day,
or something like that. Catch a day game. In different cities, and that Pittsburgh would be a great place to go do that at, man.
Absolutely.
Catch a Friday night game and a Saturday afternoon game or something.
For sure. Definitely got to put that in the plans, man. So, yeah, that's my pick, man, and that wraps up our last cut, man. And so we're about to close up out of here. But I just want to leave us with a little something that, some of these conversations remind us just how far we've come. Others remind us how far we still have to go. Early in this episode, we were talking about racism and things like that. I'm glad we talked about uniforms at the end to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But one thing baseball has always done is bring generations together. Whether we're talking about justice, whether we're talking about history, or even the cleanest uniforms ever stitched, these conversations matter. And so, with that, we just want you to know that even though sometimes we're going to talk about things that may be a little bit uncomfortable, it matters. Even though we talk about fun stuff like uniforms, it still matters because it's all knitted together to make this beautiful game even better. It's all a part of the baseball culture that we love. And so with that said, I want to just thank everyone for being a part. If you've been watching all the way through, we appreciate you, and we cannot leave without reminding you to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're listening to us in your car or wherever, make sure that you're subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. We don't want you to miss an episode because you might miss out on some of these great memories that we're talking about. And so make sure that you support us, and we'll support you back by showing you some love. We just finished our first giveaway. So shout out to our winners of our first giveaway. We had Big Jimbo 316 from Instagram, who won our City Connect
Big
hat.
Jimbo.
Big Jimbo.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll be getting that hat out to you soon. And also from TikTok, Just Being Me. Thank you, sister, for showing some love. And oh man, I gotta pull up. Hold on. I gotta pull up the note that she left us, man. She left us, man, the most beautiful comments about what we're doing. And oftentimes we're expecting to hear back from the fellas when it comes to what we do here on the Stolen Bases podcast. But this is a woman who is actively listening to us and gave us a beautiful response. She said, let me see, let me pull it up. It was so amazing that I had to send it to you, Johnny. I know you saw it already. But she said, I just want you to know that I think the Stolen Bases podcast is dope as, and beep that out.
You already know. You already know.
Dope as, yeah, that word. And she said, pardon my French, because she's such a lady. But she said, but for real though, I played softball as a teen, so naturally I like baseball. The way you both deliver the information and the stories has a way of rousing my interest and holding me captive. I'm honestly more interested in the lives and the careers of the former players now than ever before. I can especially relate to your stories of playing baseball and growing up as a kid, as a teen in Vallejo, because I used to live there for a while. I even remember seeing some of the great players running bases at Contra Costa College when I was there. Anyway, take care, and I'm excited to see where your podcast will grow. Thank you so much, Just Being Me, for that for your beautiful words. We really appreciate it, and it just goes to show that this is not just a guys type of podcast. The ladies are loving it as well, and it just makes us want to continue to create these episodes, create this content, because we see that we're reaching people. People are connecting to some of the memories and the stories that we're talking about, and it just brings up memories of their own, man. So yeah, this when I got that, it truly made my day, and I couldn't wait to send it to you. I know it made your day as well.
Yeah, it absolutely did, man. Thank you very much. Just Being Me. Congratulations to you on being a winner in our first cap giveaway. Those kind words, man, they really fuel us. I know if they fuel Coach Tre, they definitely fuel me and make me want to keep showing back up here. I feel like we're doing something good if we're impacting people in that way. So, and the last thing I do want to say too is if you started following us from Instagram or Facebook or TikTok before you made it over here to the Stolen Bases podcast, we want to thank you so much for seeing something in the content, in the material, in us enough to say, I don't know where these guys come from. I don't know where their content comes from, but I like what I saw. I'm going to hit that like button. I'm going to hit that follow button. And then to follow us over here onto the show. We just can't thank you enough. We're very grateful for you, for sure. We're very grateful, 100%. And welcome to the squad.
Absolutely. Welcome to the squad. You ain't going to get cut around here. You on the squad for life. And so we appreciate every single one of you for being a part of the Stolen Bases squad. It's much more to come. We got a special guest coming up on the next episode, so we're going to tease that out. I'm excited about that one. So we got our first guest coming into the pod in our next episode. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be definitely teasing that out and putting some announcements out on social media about that very, very soon. So stay locked into the Stolen Bases podcast. We want to thank you again for spending another inning, a few innings with us on Stolen Bases. And until next time, make sure that you keep these stories alive, keep the culture strong, and remember, we're stealing more than bases around here. We're reclaiming history. We appreciate you for watching Stolen Bases. My boy Johnny King, tell them where we're from.
Shout out to the baseball factory. That is Vallejo, California.
Shout out to the V.
Yeah. From the sandlots to the spotlight. From the Negro leagues to the big leagues. This ain't just baseball. It's history. It's culture. It's a stolen basis. Yeah. Safe at first. Safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home. Safe at first. Safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home. Back when the gate said no, we built our own lane. Packed out the ballpark, sunshine and rain. Saturday doubleheaders, whole family deep. Legends in the making while the world was asleep. Businesses booming, owners making plays. Culture in the stands, everybody getting paid. Not just a game, it was pride on display. Every crack of the bat said, we gon' find a way. Now I'm looking at the diamond thinking where to go. Used to be the neighborhood, now the kids don't know. That's why we grab the mic and tell the stories untold. Cause the roots run deep in the history gold. They stole the bases, but they couldn't steal the game. Couldn't steal the hustle, couldn't steal the name. From the dirt on our cleats to the stars in the sky. Black baseball legacy, never let it die. They stole the bases, but they couldn't steal the dream. Now we telling every story that they left unseen. Round the diamond, round the world, let the truth be known. Welcome to Stolen Bases. Yeah, we bringing it home. Safe at first, safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home. Safe at first, safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home. Now the game's changed. Travel ball costs a grip. Some kids got the talent, but can't afford the trip. Fields in the suburbs, dreams on the shelf. Too many young stars gotta figure it out themselves. But I remember Griffey swinging smooth as jazz. Every kid in the neighborhood wanted that swag. From the backyard fences to the city park lights, we was calling our shots on those summer night flights. See, this more than statistics, more than wins and losses, more than Hall of Fame speeches and championship bosses. It's about fathers and sons, coaches and friends, and the love for the game that never truly ends. So we dig through the archives, bring the truth to the mic, give flowers to the legends every time we recite. Cause the future gets stronger when it knows where it started. And black baseball story is far from departed. They stole the bases, but they couldn't steal the game. Couldn't steal the hustle, couldn't steal the name. From the dirt on our cleats to the stars in the sky. Black baseball legacy, never let it die. They stole the bases, but they couldn't steal the dream. Now we telling every story that they left unseen. Round the diamond, round the world, let the truth be known. Welcome to Stolen Bases. Yeah, we bringing it home. Safe at first, safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home. Safe at first, safe at second. History slide in the third. Now we headed home.